love me some Avatar Nation. Step on them, king. Step on them, king.
Please, you have nerve. You've been beating everybody.
I'm talking, baby.
What up, SK?
I'm here for the mess. I'm talking, baby.
Get it, Daddy.
Hey!
I love me some Avatar Nation. Step on them, king. Step on them, king.
Although you didn't call me silly, honey, you're shady.
I'm talking, baby.
Get it, Daddy.
Well, goodness gracious.
No beef, just tofu.
I'm here for the mess.
Get it, Daddy.
Woo, child.
Well, goodness gracious.
Avatar Nation.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing well. What's up, Black Pearl? Good morning, good evening to you. So I was up, so I decided to come live because my time is like crazy, very limited. In terms of the time I could spend on here. So I thought I was up, so I said, let me go live. And talk about a few things, and maybe somebody will catch it on replay, or maybe some people catch it live. So yeah, so let's jump into it real quick. I know I did a live earlier, but when I went back and listened to that live, it was just like so many problems with the audio. I don't know what StreamYard issue is, but they got to get that fixed. And then they raising their prices. I'm like, if y'all been around, y'all know we could used to use the audio like the mobile version of StreamYard with no issue. Now it's all this interference and stuff. Yeah, so what's up, Jay Truth? You said I can't sleep. You can't sleep. What's up, Black Strawberry Apple? How you doing? Yeah, my situation is when I get done my full day, I come in and go to sleep, and then I'm up in the middle of the night. Um, so that's the agenda for tonight. We gonna talk. Like I said, I did my live earlier. I went back to listen to it. I wasn't happy with it because it was just like the sound quality was bad because of that static. So yeah. So what we gonna talk about is the D Wade statue, the wheelchair thief. NFL 25, November 7th. We're going to get into the news that you absolutely cannot use. Talk about Lolo the sellout. Dragonz has to go. Horny Row, Lemon the Portal, The Power of Jay Wilson, and Simon. All right, so let's get started. Like I said earlier, in my other live, I was talking about the D Wade statue. I guess the Miami Heat had got him a statue, but the statue don't look like him. The statue does not look like D Wade. It looked like D Wade with a big head or a fat head. So yeah, so everybody's been talking about it. I saw something about the sculptor came out and released a statement, but when I read it, I was getting mad. I just like turned away from the article because he was saying something about some pressure when they make a sculpture. The pressure. I'm like, no, please don't come here with that bullshit. Excuse my French, because like I said, if they were able to give Abraham Lincoln a statue that looks almost like he looked during that time and made it during that time, there was no excuse for D Wade to be looking like that. Okay, and it was just messed up. So I wonder what they're gonna do to undo it, because that is expensive. I guess it's expensive to make a statue like that, but so we'll see what they do. Black Pearl says that statue is awful. Yeah, and Black Pearl, the crazy part about that thing is just like, if I don't know, man, when you deal with like professionalism, the more high profile, the more detail you want to make it, like the more exact you want to make it, because that's your reputation. That's a monumental moment for him, but it's going to be forever like smeared because of that. Even if they were to do it all over, it's chronicled all over social media, all over the media about that situation. Like that was how could you put more detail into the shorts? Because if you look at the shorts, very detailed, more than into the head or the face. That's the crazy part about it. So I feel bad for D Wade, but it is what it is, you know. So yeah. Then in my live earlier, excuse me, y'all. Okay, then in my live earlier, I was talking about the wheelchair thief at Walmart. I was walking down whatever that outlet is they got where you got menswear, and I saw a guy in a wheelchair with another guy behind him, and the guy behind him was stuffing. I don't know. I can't say I wasn't looking that intently, but he was doing something in the back of the wheelchair. So I didn't know if the man got a shirt stuck or whatever. Plus, I didn't want them thinking I was spying on them because it was only them and I in that lane. So I kept it pushing pretty much. I tried to see if they had any shirts, but I couldn't really do that because they were in my way. So I kind of went to the other aisle. So as I'm going towards the exit, I see the man in the wheelchair with a package of like underwear next to him, just laid there in a one of the Walmart managers is standing there. So I pretty much knew what that was. But the effed up part was that his buddy or his partner that was with him was nowhere to be seen. So I feel like that dude took off running and left the man in the wheelchair to get prosecuted. So yeah, that was crazy. Why are you stealing when you in a wheelchair? I don't understand that. Why are you stealing when you in a wheelchair? That make no damn sense. So yeah, don't steal. And it's sad for some underwear, but I guess he needs some underwear. But I'm like, I'm sure there's some community services or some men program that you could have went to that provided you underwear. But I guess it's also the dignity involved. But then you got the dignity of stealing, and then you can't get away. Like that shit is deep if you really think about it. All right, next up is so I was playing the trial version of NFL 25, right? So I think I want that game because actually it's on sale to be honest. So um the only thing that's bothering me about that game is that they got a woman, no offense to my women, but they have a woman commentator and she just talk too much. She is talking way too much throughout the game. And I'm like, damn, you talking too much. And it's just it don't sound right. It just don't sound right because she's just like, I don't know. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about getting next. NFL 25. I know I'm late to the party because I was playing NCAA 25, NCAA football. But in terms of graphics and stuff, I'm like, damn. And I had to be careful, right? Because sometimes you buy these games and they suck. But NFL 25 right now, I'm feeling it a little bit, and I'm not really into that Madden stuff. But I think I may be in this situation. Next up is November 7th. Please go vote, y'all. Please go vote. Please go vote. And then you see in my title, I said I'm scared. I'm scared because it's two extremes of our what we can choose from. And I'm scared because they're so different. And I'm scared because like if things things could get crazy on the 7th to the point of like, what? You know what I mean? It's just if y'all think about it, we take it for granted that we live mostly in a civil society. But I feel like, and I'm not gonna say names because I just can't. But one person has the ability to be an antagonizer when they don't get their way, even in the face of honest defeat, right? And I feel like if he says the wrong things, then we can have a catastrophic situation on our hands as a nation. That's the scary part about it. Now then, if you have Robinhood, go into your Robinhood app, they got the nerve to be sitting up here asking you who you gonna vote for. And if that person votes for every option contract that you have open, they're gonna give you $1. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all doing it? It was no need. I don't know the reason as to why they are getting involved in that way regarding the voting. It's like weird. it's weird. It's like, are they trying to get like? I can think the only reason you can really be doing this is to really try to see, based on who your platform users are, what way the people are going to vote. And it's just weird to me. They say, "Oh, we'll give you $1 per contract if your candidate wins," and I'm just like, "Why are you doing this, Robin Hood? Why are y'all doing that? What's up, chill out? How you doing? Good to see you. Why are y'all doing that? That don't make no sense to me. Like, I understand that the election is critical to the the market to some degree because of their policy, but why are you? Who thought of that? Who at Robinhood thought that that would be okay? Because to me, it was very off-putting a little bit. And this is, oh, this is not for voting, but you are a financial entity. You're not a political entity. We don't go for you for politics and stuff like that. So why are y'all sitting up there doing that on your application, saying that y'all gonna give people $1 per contract if your person that you choose win? And if they don't, then it won't be of no good. I mean, of no detriment. Y'all check that out, or y'all if y'all got Robinhood. That's really weird, really really weird. And it's no explanation as to why they doing it. No explanation. It's like, are y'all trying to figure out where how people going to vote so y'all yourself as the financial institution can position yourselves before the actual results come out? That's just kind of weird to me. All right. Once we're going to get into news that you absolutely cannot use. Also, if you want to, feel free to send a gesture to $ Circuit Crowd. It'd be tremendously appreciated. Like I told you, I'm trying to get Madden 25 on sale. I think it's like $40. I think it's $40. So if you want to, feel free to send a gesture to $Circuit Crowd. I'm gonna use that towards that purchase because I really like the game. It did the difference between that college game and the Madden game is that the players are like the thing I have about the Madden game, right? I mean, sorry, the thing I don't like about the NCAA game that I didn't tell you about is that they just pretty much plastered a couple of faces on all the players. So all the players that they show look alike. They just got a different skin tone and their haircut is different. With Madden, when I was trying it out today, I was like, damn, like that is actually the player. That's actually their number. And I'm like, because I was so accustomed to NCAA, like just them, I thought they were gonna be generic. But like I said, that lady get on my nerves because she do so much talking. So like I said, if you want to send a gesture to Circuit Crowd, feel free to do so. Oh yeah, let's talk about real world news that I wanted to share with y'all real quick is they're going to cut the interest rate next week. And I always told y'all that they're cutting it on November 7th, y'all. How freaking ironic is that? November 7th, they're cutting the interest rate, which is the date of the voting day. They're going to cut it. And then on top of that, but I feel like they said to, okay, so then also the economy is slowing, people ain't hiring, companies are laying off like low key. Like you gotta really see what I'm like. You gotta really like. How can I say it? Tune in to a lot of places because they're low key saying people aren't hiring, or if they are hiring, they're keeping their employee base the same, right? And they cutting, they laying off because they saying the economy is slowing. And then, but it make you believe it, the economy is going great, right? So I think they said in 2025 is when we're gonna go into or you're gonna start seeing the fallout of it because inflation is still there, and I believe it. Inflation ain't gone nowhere. You know, inflation is still there. So we'll see. So like I said, be on the lookout. If you got a job, try to do your best at it so you don't get laid off. It's just a lot going on. Boeing, they having a issue. And then they said manufacturing is decreasing too. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And I see that we gotta wait. Because right now, if you in corporate America, everything's winding down pretty much. Because those people don't work. They don't work in November, December. They don't really work because everybody pretty much taking a chill pill for the holidays. Once we get in January, things don't ramp up to January 15th. So I feel like in terms of the economic and seeing how we really doing and stuff like that, 2025. Like I said, but interest rates still are high. People still suffering under inflation. So it's a lot going on. Everything ain't rosy. And like I said, oh Lord, the stock market prices are at an all time high. We are at an all time high. How high can you go? Right? How high can you go before you can't go no more and things gotta go down? So just pay attention to that, y'all. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. I feel personally AI is still the way to go because AI don't is really not dependent on the everyday consumer. It's those people who already got money invested in AI because they see that it's going to magnify or maximize their potential to make money. So yeah, it's scary. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so let's get into the news you cannot use. Lolo the sellout. This come from ODS's live. Lolo was over there. I guess she was over there with the new people. The new people happen to be of a different culture. They say that Lolo was over there sympathizing with them, and then Lolo said something very controversial on ODS's platform. She's talking about, well, let's take slavery off the table, as if she was giving people of a certain background. What's up, Philly T? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. As if she was giving people of a certain background or a certain ethnicity a pass for slavery. Um, what's up, Enjoy Life? How you doing? Thank you for being here. So I just feel like Lolo. I don't know. I don't know if this is an act. I don't know if Lolo is intentionally slow. I don't know if Lolo has found out if you cater to uh, people of a certain background that they may like you more. Maybe that's how she's, kept her job. I don't know. But like I said, I don't know. Lolo is intentionally slow, but some things Lolo don't know. I don't know. Lolo, you can't sit around a whole bunch of black folks and say, "Oh, well." Then they said that she was saying talking bad about this area and said, "Oh, yeah, yeah." Y'all watch Lolo. 'Cause Lolo is a flip flopper. Lolo reminds me of a fish out of water. Lolo will flip and flop like a fish out of water to get back in the water, which is full of people in which she wants to be around at that time. Um, yeah, yeah. So just watch Lolo, because now we got these new people, and then it was a whole controversy that Lolo, some ladies, I don't know, some lady over there was asking her how to fit in or what to say to fit in, and they wanted Lolo maybe to be her guide, and then somehow it turned into Lolo then getting extended an invitation for her, what is it, her daughter or her granddaughter to be mentored by this woman in North Carolina. I'm like, but maybe Lolo has learned that it's by sympathizing and empathizing of a different culture will get you farther than standing with your people. Like I was putting in the ODS chat that Lolo sounded like she told where the Underground Railroad was. I sure did. I sure did. But I don't know. Lolo like that heat. Lolo like her daughter. Thank you, Black Strawberry Apple. Yeah. Her daughter. So like I said, maybe um she's found it better to navigate that way than against against the people. What's up, Dr. Sophie? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hope all is well your way. All right, next we're gonna talk about Dragonz has to go. Y'all, Dragonz has to go. Now she has found her way over to Jay Wilson platform. And she is so annoying. Like you could take uppity for a little bit, but then when you mix Dragons in it, who who is using the tactic of thinking that she knows that she's been here for a long time. Um, oh, she's simping. You sound like she's simping. She's yeah. I hate to say this because I do have audience members and supporters who are of a different ethnicity, but she definitely be sound like she be trying to cater to them and is willing to sell out her own culture and ethnicity to be in the good graces and acceptance of them. That's what I picked up. That's what I picked up because when they were talking about what she was saying, Jay Dunn said what she was saying over there. It wasn't of defiance. It was like, yeah, I did it, but I look at it from their perspective. If I was white, this is what I would do and how I was, and I'm like, what? What? So yeah. Going back to Dragons, she said she's another annoying version of Lolo. But the thing is, enjoy life. Like Dragons is just this is the thing. Lolo sits down. She can be quiet. She can know when to interject. But Dragons gets on my motherfucking nerves because she reminds me of a mosquito. She's buzzing all around when you don't need to buzz around. Then she acts like she's been here and knows everything, and then she tries to what they call it. What they said some term today. I forgot what it was. But she'll sit up there and try to act like she knows she everything, and then she don't know a damn thing. And then she'll sit up there and lie on the other person, like, oh, they don't know what they talking about. They just getting in the fit in or some crazy term they have and lying on the person. Like, oh, she don't know him, she don't really know, she just pretend. And that person has a long history of being associated with a particular person that's being talked about. Then you'll mention somebody else's name. Let's say they'll say, what's her name? Lovely Love is a freak. She'll jump in and say, I'm not no freak. I'm not no freak. Nobody wasn't even talking about you. And she do that on purpose so that she could be involved. She's just annoying. Like I hope that she would stay on Lemon's platform, and that's where we will only have to encounter. But now she's spreading, and I wish people would just let her go. Just let her go. She's not necessary. There's some people that you can say, okay, they know their place, they know when to interject, they're adding commentary, da 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 da. But she's not. She's an annoyance, and I hope her stay here is only temporary until she's able to go somewhere else or she refines what she does because right now she's just an annoyance. It's just like, and we're about to like get the information or we're trying to hear what the person is saying and here she is talking about, oh, I got a hotel room. Like, come on, like we don't care about your hotel room. We're trying to hear what that other person is saying that we've been trying to get out of them for 2 hours and here you come. Oh, anyway, she was very, very annoying. Very annoying. He said, "Yeah, I heard her on Jay was just annoying, and I hope that she gets the hint when people keep dropping her in the back for real. I really do hope so. All right, let's go to Horny Row. Horny Row and Lovely Love. Y'all need to go over there and check out that. Boy, it's the lives that don't have a lot of people in them that you need to listen to because that is where, like, you like, what in the world? And I don't know if the low numbers make them feel comfortable to talk about what they're talking about. But on Lovely Love's live, Lovely Love and Horny Row was over there. I forget, with somebody else, and they were talking about hair and booty hair and pubic hair and hair this and how they have it trimmed and how they don't have it trimmed and how much the person needs to maintain it and shower it and all this stuff if they're gonna do what they want to do and why you should keep it trimmed because nobody want to come up with a mouthful of hair when they down there. And I was like, what? And then Horny Row was talking about, yeah, he not that hairy, but he is hairy and what he used to do. And I was like, like, why y'all tell all y'all business? I was like, why y'all? And it's not like you said, oh, they were just entertaining, they were doing it for the show. No, they were serious. They had a whole hair. And I know maybe because of that picture that came out with what's her name, Lovely Love. Ah, yeah, yeah. Mm, mm. And then Lovely Love, why are you telling about your former ex and how his hair was? What? Because you know how messy these people are. If they're able to find out who that is, they'll run right over there and tell that man, "Oh yeah, lovely enough, tell that you got a whole bushel of hair that you don't trim." Oh man, y'all be doing too much, man. Oh, y'all do too much. So yeah, go check that out. That's if you want to. You might get disgusted or just mystified, to be honest. Hold on one second. Okay, so we talk about Horny Row, and then we talk about Lemon the Portal. Look, see, y'all, we got to be honest about the situation. What's up, Detach Myself? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Uh, let's be honest. We got to talk about Lemon. Lemon has been J Truth. What'd you say? What happened? What you mean? What happened? They was talking about I guess, or I guess sexual affairs or something. You just went to the bathroom. Well, nothing happened. You just in time. I said, go listen to Lovely Love Live and with Ernest Rowan. They're talking about how they keep their nether region shaved or unshaved and how they hairy and not hairy in certain places and all that other stuff. Um, Lemon the Portal. So Lemon, like you gotta understand, this is just truth, not shade, nothing like that. But Lemon has been the entry point for a lot of people that we don't know, right? Dragonz, Brina, all these characters that we ain't never seen around or nothing. Now we have these emergence, and I haven't done my due diligence regarding these people, but I don't know what's going on in the background, and I don't know. Like I always said to, always said, Avatar Nation, Lemon knew people way before he knew us. I always be transparent about that. Lemon knew people before he knew us, and now some of these people, I feel one of them's Dragonz, is now here because now he has his platform. But now hearing that these people are coming over from over the pond and all this other stuff, all I'm gonna tell them is your consumer base is black. Okay, be careful with bringing or dealing with people who may offend your consumer base because the one thing this area don't play with is racism, right? Or playing they don't play, and they will quickly withdraw their support from you if they feel that you promoting people to play in our faces. They don't play with that, right? They don't, and even if they, they just gonna get turned off because they just seeing. And if you allow that, and I don't know what's going on in the background, Lemon, I don't know if you're getting a commission per presence or whatever, but yeah, be careful what you're doing because it seems like people are siphoning off of you to get them exposure so that they can benefit in the end, even if it's for a 1 day showing or a multi-day showing. So yeah, I hope you know what you're doing because these people are not going to play with that. Chida says, "Lovely deep throating something isn't sick. It's sick over there now. Now, child, I already did. I already don't watch like I used to. It's too many piano idiots already." I agree, chill out. It used to be of comedic nature. Now it's just people screaming, yelling. It's not really of any talent, I would say. It's not really people are not showing any talent. Like he's just screaming and yelling and just calling people all kind of vile names. That seems to be the main gist of stuff. So but with Limit, I would just say, yeah, just be careful because these people are using you. And like I said before, Limit, you even said yourself, you're not into politics, you're not into debates and stuff like that. So why are you now willing to engage in a debate when that's something that that's not your forte? Don't let them choose the terms of engagement on your platform, and that's their strength. Their strength is debate. Their strength may not be roasted, gagging, on the fly comedic responses. So why are you letting them put you at a disadvantage? I don't understand that. But I guess if that's what the terms of agreement were behind the scenes to get them to shine at their brightest, then I guess okay. All right. But I'm just saying, just don't let them set you up for the okey doke and then your platform come crashing at the end because they then get mad and want to spew a whole bunch of niggas in your face, just like Simon. Why Simon keeps saying the N word with the ER? I'm like, dog, like, why you keep saying the ER? Like, that's just something that just kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. Because I'm like, are you playing in our face too, but just got black skin? I don't know. It's just weird. Like, you have to question people. Like, why are you? Yeah, you black on the outside, but what's in the inside? It's just weird. It's just like, why you keep throwing that ER word in there? That's like a zinger, you know? Let me see what y'all said. I hope he takes your advice. All we can do is just like, I hope so too. Bless his heart. Black Strawberry Apple says one of those guys has been our sector for a year, so he's been watching us. Oh yeah, there's always people watching. This is the thing. They're always people watching, and then they go and feed back the information to the people. It's always somebody. You know, they're always feeding information back. And I've been here for ages, so I know the ins and the outs, and I know the minute details, and I know the major details, and I know when people have been given a report. And because they'll get sit up there, you can tell when somebody's been given a report because they'll leave out the minute details that were the major details, right? Like, I don't feel Uppity has been here all that time, but I felt like she's gotten reports or she's done her research, but there's details that she's leaving out that are little nuances that would signify, like, little things. But she claims she's been here for a while, but I don't think so. I'm still 50-50 on that because it's just the way she tells her stories is like cliff notes. And she gets surprised by the basic of things, like the things that were the undercurrent that you really don't need to mention, but you know what's the foundation. Like, if it's the foundation, I'm not gonna get surprised by that. I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, I know, yeah, I know that. So it's just like people who try to pretend they've been here for a while to get them, I guess they think it gives them credibility, but whatever. So yeah, it's just weird. What she said, it looked like more like a pow being this. Oh, what's what's nasty? Oh, y'all talking? Okay. All right. So that's how I feel about that whole limit situation. So, I mean, in a way, if you look at it from a business standpoint, limit is doing the right way because the more people that you're exposed to, the higher your numbers are going to be. But that also comes with a risk because you're gonna have the potential things, going left, right? Sorry, y'all, my allergies. So yeah, that's different because you got people now with different ethnicity and different culture. They come over here and say something highly offensive, just like that man Lord Karma was coming over here and saying something offensive to black people. So he's still hanging around. So you have to be careful because that's very off putting. And the thing is Limit is cordial with those people he's interacting with behind the scenes, and they say some foul stuff in the front of the scenes, then he's got to immediately correct them. How can I say, immediately correct them to the satisfaction of the audience? Because if you don't, that means that you siding with them in whatever they were saying, and that your audience ain't standing. So yeah, it's a tricky situation. It's tricky. Um, Let me see what y'all saying. What other sectors? Other sectors benefit from these so-called mergers. Yeah, we don't get anything in return. Um, people can immediately come up and grow their channel, but the thing is sustainability, right? Look at Shaquem. Shaquem got used and pimped out, toyed with, legs ripped here, there, thrown, forced out of closet, thrown back in the closet, out of closet, and then they said, get your ass on. So, people get used and abused, but he also reaped in the end because I'm sure he was getting some monetary gain. But it's called sustainability, right? Do you have that sustainability to grow your audience? And I would say, not from what I've seen, how people, it can work, but like I tell people, it's so key how you come into the game. how you come in the game will determine your longevity. I feel if you come in here bashing and ratchet or sucking on people's titties to get accepted, your longevity ain't gonna be long because you gotta stay in the good graces of that person. It's just it's really weird, to be honest. Paulette A says, "Do you think Lemon and Krista are really together?" No, I don't think so. No, no. It was some lady that was coming in today talking about. She sounded like Miss Toby, but she really didn't. I forgot what panel that was. Was that on ODS? Maybe it was on ODS. And she was telling all about now. Why that lady got so many aliases? I don't know. Just Krista, BBW. Then she had another one today. That lady mentioned. She said that lady is insecure about her body. She's an Oompa Loompa. She's short. She's small. All this stuff. No, I don't think that. I think that the whole just Krista situation and Lemon. And I know Lemon ain't going for somebody like that. No offense to you, Krista, but Lemon is very. How can I say it? Aesthetically infatuated, meaning he is highly infatuated with people's aesthetics. He's like, "Ooh, you look good, girl. Look at every woman he fawn over." So why? No offense to you, Krista, but how he gonna do an about face for her, and all he can see is her face? What? Like, no, that's a situation where that is virtual. They probably concocted something up in the background, or she's providing him intellectual. Um, I don't say intellectual, but maybe emotional stimulation in the background and very catering to him. Yes, baby. Oh, baby, you want that? I'll get that for you, baby. You need that timestamp, baby? You need me to send you a recipe, baby? Oh, baby. I was calling to make sure you were asleep, baby. Okay, baby? Oh, baby, you all right? Baby, do you need your clothes washed even though I don't live close to you? Oh, baby, do you need me to send you something via through Amazon? Okay, baby. All right, baby, do you want me to wake you up? Oh, baby, when's your next live? Oh, baby, can I come on the panel? Oh, baby, who's Terry P? Oh, okay, she's number one. Okay, baby, I'll be number two. So just like that's all that's really offering because women is somewhat vain to some degree. So no, it's not. I don't. Virtually they may be, and I feel she is a confidant for him um in the background, and they have that kind of rapport. I feel, but in terms of it being virtual and meeting, I think if it ever do meet, it would have to be initiated through Krista, meaning Krista would be have to be the one to fly out to see him and all that other stuff. And will anything physical happen? I don't know about all that, but yeah. So that's my answer to that. That's for what I see. So yeah, that's what I see. Let me see. She's so stupid. No, I don't think she's stupid. I think because listen. She was doing everything under the sun to get traction and attention on her channel. Now she found something where she ain't got to really do nothing except plop herself down and talk to Lemon and siphon stuff over there to her platform and go from there. So she knows she doing to fill the void in her life, and all that. She out there talking about, oh, I gotta make caramel apples and all this stuff, and the teenagers don't want the caramel apples, but they want the candy cotton, whatever kind of apple she up there. I was like, really? I'm like, well, okay, all right. If you say so, whatever. All right. So yeah, so that's my take on the whole lemon portal. Now let's get into the power of Jay Wilson. If y'all want to, please send a gesture to $ Sir King Crown. I am trying to get uh it's called a Madden 25. Madden 25 is on sale, y'all. It's on sale for $40. $40. That's the next game I want to get. So if y'all can help me out with Madden 25, I'll come on here and play a game or two. I told y'all if y'all coming in late. The other game, the NCAA football I was playing, is good, but what I took for granted was that um they just put the same faces on the same players and just change the skin tone and the hairstyle of the players and go say, okay, that's the player. And then the difference between Madden is that every player is the player that you see on TV and the coaches. It's just that they got a woman commentator that's talking too much. So if y'all want to help me get Madden 25, feel free to do so. Feel free to send a gesture to $ Sir King Crowd. It'll be tremendously appreciated. Like I said, it's on sale for $40. It was $70, and I was not going to ask my consumer base, my customer base, to do that at that price. So I waited. I've been patient. It's $40, y'all. $40. I even looked it up. I was like, why are they showing a discount on PlayStation? And then I looked up the price. I said, only $40. So if y'all want to, $ Sir King Crown, it'll be tremendously appreciated. That is sometimes how I spend the midnight hour when I'm not talking to y'all. All right, let's get into the power of Jay Wilson, y'all. Child, Jay Wilson was talking about some movie that he recently saw about with his boo. Oh, excuse my French. Y'all know I don't curse, but I was like, nigga, you ain't got no damn boo. I was like, he didn't say boo. He said he didn't say partner. He said something, some other term he done came up with my other or something. I was like, but see, y'all could tell it ain't Mark because he used to refer Mark by name. So he done moved on to somebody else. But I feel like he lying. Because why every time he always time, ooh, child, that coffee was good. That I'm at the QT. I just like it's just a liar that needs a pacifier. But yeah, so anyway, he was telling a story about this movie he just saw about these Cardinals. And when we say Cardinals, we're not talking about the football team. We're talking about the Catholic Church and how the Catholic Church is looking for a pope and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, because Boo or whatever you want to call Bay or whatever you want to call them, and called them and said they're going to see Venom this weekend. And that's the movie Jay Wilson really needs to see because all he do is spew Venom, but moving right along. So yeah, it was something about this church and how they had the candidates for the Pope and how he was saying that the candidates that were the Pope were being ambitious. And thank you, Detach, were being ambitious and everything, but they all had something in their past that tripped them up for their candidacy for popehood, I guess. And Simon was on the panel at this time. And y'all go listen to it. At first, Simon tried to get Jay Wilson to stop talking about the story. He was like, "Yeah, conclave. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Chill out. I appreciate that. Thank you." The movie is Conclave that Jay Wilson was talking about, and I'm referencing. He said I watched for 10 minutes and turned it off. But you gotta understand, chill out. Conclave will really resonate with Jay Wilson because that's maybe something he wanted to be. But he was anyway. Yeah. So as Jay Wilson was telling the story, Simon said something that's like, "Oh, can you stop? Can we move on?" And I'm just like, okay, that's kind of rude. But Jay Wilson's like, no, 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 no. I'm gonna tell this. I'm gonna tell this. So he told a story, and then all of a sudden, Simon is like crying. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And he's like, Jay Wilson, what's the nearest airport? We're like, what? He like, Jay Wilson, what's the nearest airport? I'm like, what the hell going on? I'm like, did you want Lemon? Now you want Mr. Conclave to get it on in the cave or the man cave? And then Jay Wilson was like, nope, I have a partner. I have a partner. And I'm like, okay. And Simon's like, no. What you just said was so profound, and you know, I can relate to you and all this stuff, and it goes deep into the whole ambitious part. So pretty much, I guess, from what I gather, what I could decipher from that whole exchange was that Simon is ambitious or a person of ambition, but has done some effed up ish along the way. And when Jay Wilson was telling his conclave story, it kind of got took Simon down memory lane. Okay. So then, y'all, that's why I said the power of Jay Wilson. So then Jay Wilson with his messy psychological pseudo I care for you ass started pulling out all this information with Simon. It was like, well, Simon, what do you mean? Well, wait a minute, Simon. Why there's something here. Why are you getting emotional, Simon? Tell me. And then we'll start. He had that man tell all his business. And this is here it is. So Simon had a wife who nearly died while she was giving birth, right? So in order to save this woman, they had to all do like a full body blood transfusion or something. And he said after his wife's blood transfusion, she wasn't the same. Like she was a different person. And he believes it's because of the blood, because the hormones are different, and the blood is coming from somebody else. And pretty much, who he was corresponding with or dealing with after that was of a different person, right? And then apparently, for what I'm hearing, I guess I'm assuming that the wife ran off with the child and all this stuff. So then Simon went to go find his daughter and find his wife, and then nobody was helping him. The police wasn't helping him. So then he wound up having to. He was really thinking about how he was going to find her or them. So he wound up taking a job at what? At the I don't know. It was at either some hospital or some place where he could get access to records to find out where his daughter was. Then he found out where his daughter was, and then he said he took her, but it got really murky at that time because did you take her to spend time with her, but had to give her back? Because then he wound up saying his wife messed up somehow, some way, because I guess she violated the program she was on, so then he wound up eventually getting custody of his daughter. But yeah, it sounds deep. And then I think this is what I feel that he got, and then he was saying, and I don't like to talk about people's sexual relations, but he did say when he did try to have some sex with his wife after the blood transfusion, she was just like sitting there like a log. Like he said, it was one of the weirdest things that he had to ever do in his life. And he felt like because of that blood transfusion, she wasn't the same. Like she wasn't engaged sexually. And I felt like that maybe catapulted him into thinking, okay, well, maybe let me explore the other side of the world, which is men. And because he's like, he just wants somebody cool to hang out with. See, he pretty much said, I don't care if it's a woman, I don't care if it's a man. I just want somebody cool to hang out with that, and so that's what I ran into the situation. Um, so yeah, it was very interesting. Now, I do have to do this disclaimer. Hold on, let me put my disclaimer up. Where my disclaimer at? Right here. This is the YouTube streets. Right here. Bam. Okay. So that's my disclaimer, right? Because I'm saying all this to say, and I'll put on a disclaimer because we don't know if that man trolling Jay Wilson or what. Okay. We don't know if that man trolling and just sat up there and told that lie and his father from the truth. Because he run around here, and let me tell you something. He run around here saying that he was a lawyer. And Jay Wilson tried to keep grilling him about, okay, if you're a lawyer, what kind of lawyer you are? What's your specialty? What's your what field? What school? Da 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 da. And he can't throw it out like that. He threw something out, some acronym for some environmental stuff. But he felt he was a lawyer because of the 2-year legal battle he would have to endure to get custody of his child from his wife. A lot of people, just like that lady over there, the IHOP lady, she feels she's a lawyer too because all the time she's been in court, right? And what she's been self-taught. So then these people label themselves lawyers when they actually not. They're just self-taught lawyers. and stuff like that. So I do have to, say, hey, even though he said that on Jay Wilson, he may have been trolling the hell out of him. So that's why I put the disclaimer up. So for real, because we know he just lied on Lemon. So he may have just been trolling that man and have him fall for that for entertainment. So he said, Shit Out says he was probably so abusive. Well, he says that he wasn't abusive. He says he's not a man that puts his hands on women, and his wife thought that every man was the same because the men that she messed with after him was, putting hands on her. And he had to sometimes step in and save her and stuff like that. So that's what he was saying. What's up, Real Mama Fifi? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the disclaimer detached. Chill Out says, yeah, I'm probably trolling. And let me tell you something about attorneys, right? Attorneys are mad busy, mad crazy busy. They either on the phone with the client, on the phone with other legal persons, often legal representatives or other attorneys, and then they got court. So how the hell? And he says, "Oh, I normally come on here at night." Okay, so it's just like your profession don't even allow you to have that kind of time, like for real. Like, and you ain't running no firm. So it ain't like, oh, I got all these other attorneys and I'm just wasting time. So that's what I want to say. Once again, if y'all want to send a gesture to the $sign Circle Crown, please feel free to do so. I'm trying to get Madden 25. Madden 25 is on sale. I've been looking out for your pockets. So Madden 25 is on sale for $40. So I'm trying to get this game. If y'all want to help me get this game, please feel free to do so at $sign Circle Crown. It's tremendously appreciated. Let me take this bending down real quick so we can see the last thing we want to talk about is okay, and then we talk about Simon. So yeah, Simon, like I said, something that told that whole story. We don't know if he's telling the truth or not. He just seems to be a man who is sexually free, but also lonely. So that's what I gather from that whole situation. He just wants somebody cool who he can pretty much, I guess, trust. And I don't know if that trust means also control, but yeah. So that's what I got to say about that. All right. Anybody got any questions? That's all I really got for y'all. I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and share their thoughts and their sentiments. That's all that's really going on at this time. Please make sure y'all go out and exercise your right to vote. Like I say, we could do so much. We could buy costumes, go to the costume store, and all that other stuff. But when it comes down to our basic rights and stuff, we kind of manipulate that. I do feel like I said, you just coming in. I am concerned about this election because of the two extremes, and one side is shown to not win, or I gotta say not. How can I say this politically correct? Not accept defeat in the most graceful way. And I feel that could be inflammatory uh, to our just our democracy. I mean, if you just look at what transpired at the Capitol, that was deep on so many levels. Like, I honestly feel if one of those representatives would have got touched, would have got hurt, would have gotten unalived intentionally or accidentally, that motherfucker would have been on the ballot because he would have been deemed the cause of that situation, right? And our political officials would have felt more compelled to make sure that it didn't happen again. But because people came away unscathed, now, mind you, there were Capitol Police and stuff that got hurt, but I'm talking about the people who sit in those seats because they came away unscathed. Then it's all good and it's all gravy. If that would have gone left, thank God nobody actually took, weapons there and just decided to go ham. That is just so weird. Like it's just if you look behind the curtain, why? Why all the other intellectual, professional people that we have that could be that are Republican? Why are we choosing him? him. Like it's just like, well, I don't understand it. But it's not even like I don't know. I just feel like I say it's gonna be wild either way, right? It's gonna be wild either way because yeah, it's gonna be wild either way because if the Democratic Party gets elected, it ain't gonna be peaceful, and if the Republican Party gets elected, it ain't gonna be peaceful. But it also is gonna be 4 years of mayhem, mayhem. So, but at the end of the day, you have your right. And I can't make this. I can't say politically what I want to say, but I've always wanted to have a conversation. No, let me just put it this way. I was in the store one time and Cheeto Head, this was when he first came out. And then I was in the store and I was in the grocery aisle. I was just listening to these two people, listening why the rationale of why they will vote for Cheeto Head. And they're like, yeah, he's a businessman. He know how to run an economy. Da, 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 da. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, but y'all not even on his level. He don't give shit about y'all. Y'all have it. It's like cheering on for a billionaire, hoping that he likes you, and he can't stand you because you're not in his economic bracket. You know? Oh, we do have a guest. We do have a guest at the. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'll be real messy when I play this one. Hold on. 1 second, guest. We got to introduce you correctly. Hold on 1 second. Ooh, child. If I could find it. Hold on, guys. I don't know where. Oh, I know where it's at. Hold on. I just saw it. Here we go.
Let's get ready to rumble!
How you doing, TC, HBCU Queen? How's everything?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, love?
Good.
Excellent. Excellent. And good morning to your chat.
Thank you.
Listen, I've been listening to your predictions. DR, it doesn't matter. It's going to be crazy. However, global reset is definitely going to occur.
That reset. I got you. Yeah.
So
Because yeah,
just keep your ear to the ground. Keep yourself as grounded as possible and out of trouble. They changed the rules a little bit, and
the rules in what way?
that's
The rules in what way? The rules in what way?
well, they're saying that in order for you to benefit, you can't have a record, and you can't have this, you can't have that. Not that that pertains to you, but it does for a lot of people.
Participate in what way?
And benefiting with the global reset, being able to exchange
Oh, okay.
your currency.
Okay. On both sides, you saying? Because if you, I was saying at the beginning of my broadcast, if you have Robinhood and they just pushed this out in the early morning because I noticed it, they put in like it's weird. You just have to look at it. They're like, oh, if you have certain amount of like for every contract you have open, they're gonna give you $1, depending on who the person is that won. Like you know what I'm saying? So they give you what it's pretty much saying. If you say Kamala or if you say Cheeto Head gonna win, depending on who you choose, and you have these contracts open, and then based on who wins after November 7th, then they'll give you $1. And if they don't win, then they're like, it's going to be zero. They're not going to take anything away, or you know what I mean. But I'm like, why are they doing that? It's so weird to me.
It is it is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, why are y'all trying to do pre-polling to benefit y'all based on your consumer base? That is just,
Well, probably because the die has been cast. And so even though they're doing this pre-polling and this is all political propaganda, I mean, you're a content creator. You know you have to keep content going, right? So this is just content creation at a whole nother level. They have to keep things going. You see?
I guess for some of the YouTube streets, it's just weird to me. It's like y'all are a financial institution, not a political
It is.
polling organization.
Understood. Keep your eye on the prize.
Yeah,
And you understand me? Don't see that's the key, is to keep you set in one area. Sort of like the Price is Right. So we all think that the prize is in door number 1, when in essence it was in door number 4.
yeah.
So keep your eye on the prize. Watch the money. Watch where
Yeah.
the money.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
Just don't listen. I get it. Why this? Why that? I get it. Ask all those questions after you make your money.
Yeah, I feel they're trying to do that that digital thing now. Like I'm just talking to you. I'm seeing something with Bitcoin, then I'm seeing something with Visa, whoever, Mastercard teaming up with
Mhm.
Coinbase, and
Mhm.
then so now and then I'm seeing like okay, Bitcoin going down to 71,000, and we're now moving into where they're saying recession in 2025. So yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, because they have to. They're planting themselves and putting themselves in a position just in case. Just in case. Let's put it that way. Whoever
Yeah.
wins, they're still going to win. So they have to start playing these uh, mind trepidations. Don't. You're good. Don't worry about them.
No, and then this I forget who this person said. It's Negro Elite Minority said it's a big bubble about the pop, and I do feel that because all the
Mhm.
reports are saying that spending is slowing, manufacturing is slowing, industrials are slowing. Only thing that's not slowing is tech. So yeah. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. I believe the big pop. But see, you know what? When you're on the bottom, the pop is gonna it's gonna flow down much faster towards the bottom. And when I say the bottom, I don't mean the bottom like that in a bad way. Just it's going to benefit a certain group of people.
Of course, always does.
But not them, not who you think. I'm telling you, this is getting ready to be very interesting because those who we think are going to usually benefit because of all of their issues that they have, and because we're so stellar focused, we will benefit.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
transfer
that's
wealth for sure. Right.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And I've heard you speak on this for years now.
Yeah.
So
It's
so
interesting you say that because I was like, when is this thing gonna happen? Because I know I've been like, okay, it's coming, it's coming,
it's
it's
coming,
coming,
it's
it's coming,
coming.
and I'm like, ain't that happened? But I guess this
And
was
and
going.
it happened it happened some time ago. It happened before in 93. So I'm just here to tell you it does exist and it's
Yeah,
going to happen. It's real.
yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Now let me ask you this: you think it's gonna happen at the conclusion of this year or the beginning of next year?
Uh, at the conclusion of this this year.
And the reason why I'm hesitant to say the conclusion of this year is because normally a lot of things are on pause because of the holidays and all that other stuff.
hmm
And I and I feel like if any time it was to occur, it will be after the new year.
um, okay, so think of it this way. Because because those people don't want everyone to know. When are we most disassembled in terms of what we do in terms of our memory? When are we most deflected? Around the holidays.
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
So that's when it will happen because we're not looking for it because we're so into making sure the kids, everybody has toys and all this crap. You dig me?
Right. I feel that's the perfect time to get it in place, and
Boom.
then hit him after the new year with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. Good question. Very good question.
But I honestly feel that there's going to be one last hurrah, meaning my prediction is that one last hurrah, the stat market is going to go up until the end of the year. They come crashing down at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Absolutely.
All right. Yeah.
Hmm.
'Cause what they call
Yes.
it, the Santa rally, So
Yes.
that's what they call it, the Santa rally. So I was like, I got my eyes out for that.
Yes. So when you start hearing them saying Santa baby, da, 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 yeah, then
What? Kaya's on Wall Street? I'm just joking. Kaya's got that song, Santa Baby.
oh, okay. Okay. I love that song. That's one of my favorite. Between that and Stink, Stank, Stunk and the Grinch. That's very interesting. Bull, I see you. But you keep hanging in there, bro. You have been one of the most laser focused in reference to this topic. So thank you,
Yeah,
because when I hear you every now and then, I watch your little topics to see, just to see what you're hearing and just to hear what you're hearing, and yeah, we're pretty much like I said, we're pretty much parallel when it comes to our information.
yeah. It's just I've never seen so much. How can I say it? Not smoke screens, but they're able to throw you off and then like have you throw mixed signals at you, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm,
the numbers, the things don't lie because China reversed this whole economic policy, right? They started
mhm.
giving out stimulus and all this other stuff. Like what?
Exactly.
So yeah, so,
Because we're really at the last. There's nothing else that can be done. They they have to do this. Eh,
how do you think they can reverse it though? That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out how can
They
they.
can't. They cannot. They
Why?
can't.
Because they issue so much debt or what?
You got that right. You know how the, the insurrection was really, when the insurrection hit. I was like, hmm. When you see them start going crazy like that, you already know it. Look, they
But
get
why
they get.
come back with the same man though? Like you know what I'm saying? Like they did everything. Like I said, if one of them representatives or people in power would have got hurt, killed, or whatever, then
Mhm.
this wouldn't be happening.
Because if they do, then other folks are going to be okay. If Cheeto is in office, folks are going to be watching him so closely that they're not going to see the other. They're not going to see the prize. They're not going to see when it comes. They're going to be worried about Cheeto so bad, worrying about what he's doing. What is he saying today? What did he do today? What did he eat yesterday? What is he wearing? You know how it goes. Is that he's going to be content and deflection for the entire.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't care. Obviously, if he is or isn't, because they have their eyes on the prize, and that's all I say. I already know. Of course, I throw my hat in the ring for my girl always, and that's just that. Period. Point blank.
Hmm.
I am not going to have a hissy fit if that does not come to pass,
Why?
because I know it's okay. Because when you've been armed properly, it won't matter.
Yeah, but aren't you concerned if your girl don't win the ring, then the other person's gonna implement policy and procedure that's a great detriment
Mm,
to this country? I mean, that's 4 years is a long ass time.
It is. It is. Well. For 4 years is a while. It's a long time. By the time, okay, I can't say why, but I'll just say, you know,
The only logic I could think is that what you predicted is going to happen. You prefer that she not have that stain on her name.
they. I would prefer she be in office. Okay,
Mm.
if she's not, I'm not gonna have a hissy fit. That's all I'm saying. Just have to grind a little harder. Iron on iron.
Okay. Well, we shall see. We shall see.
Mhm.
We shall see. Oh Lord.
Freedom ain't free.
It's
Freedom
this
ain't.
man in the back. Hold on, y'all. This is hello. Who's this?
Hey, what's up with
Do
it?
you know this man?
What's happening with it?
A landlord?
Landlord. That's landlord. Okay, that's landlord with the L.
Oh, I'm
Is,
sorry.
And so
is this the TC? You TC?
I am.
Yes. What's up with
Hey,
it?
good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. What's happening with it?
Hey, come see. You know what? This guy, man.
Hey, we caught him in the same trap, but you know what's up with it? What's happening with it?
Good morning.
Listen,
What's
everything's
up with
good.
the,
We just talk a
to the
little
host,
economics.
to the host, sir? What's up with you, bro?
I'm well on yourself.
Man, I'm chilling.
That's true, Cruiser.
I just came over to, I just came over to be part of the conversation. That's all.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
what
Well,
would you like to share?
I mean,
I want.
I'm understanding y'all on the politics of things and everything with the Kamala Harris and Donald Trump thing, and I'm at a point of where I'm not gonna vote on who the president is gonna be. I could care less because it's never really mattered. It all comes down to, because definitely everything is being put towards the states. And the state that I live in, hey man, I gotta vote on the shit that goes on in my state. Where I'm gonna live at, where my kids live at, where my grandkids live at. That's where we're gonna be at. And that's what I'm gonna vote on. I could care less about the president. So all this drama that's going behind, is she really black or all that? I could care less about all that. She's from my state,
Mm-hmm.
and it still doesn't matter. So I I don't know. I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but I mean, I'm just, I'm not on the president thing. The president thing is we didn't had I didn't lived a lifetime of presidents, and nothing ever transpired to where it made my life better.
But it sure as heck can make your life worse. How y'all doing tonight?
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh yeah, it's morning at this point.
Hey,
Yeah.
Miss
Landlord, I
Cooper.
met you on Joyce, over on Joyce channel. I thought you was a Trump supporter.
I've never said I was anybody's supporter.
Okay.
So
My
I'm
bad.
sure if you met me over there, no, I didn't discuss saying I was a Trump supporter.
Okay. That's my bad. My
Yeah.
memory is not.
Yeah.
You run into a lot of people, so I can't remember everything.
Yeah. No, I
But
don't.
yeah, I know people say, who's going to be president really don't affect me, but a lot of women found out when Trump was in office that wasn't true. When that whole law was overturned, so
Which
they
one?
found out that wasn't necessarily true. So they might have not affected you as a man, but that sure as hell
You talk about
affected
the
a lot of
Roe?
women.
Talk about the abortion thing, the Roe versus Wade. Roe
Yes,
versus Wade. I'm sorry, but
yes.
even with that, it comes back to what I just said, to where the Supreme Court decided on that. It didn't have nothing to do with Trump.
Yeah,
That
but
was
the Supreme Court wouldn't have made that decision had not Trump put so many appointments in order to get it done.
It didn't have nothing to do with him. Supreme Court decided to do that, but they also
Who
decided
appointed the Supreme Court?
I mean, he was able to get his folks, get
So,
more,
so would that have happened had not he appointed those people?
I mean, man, who knows? Who knows? But
No, it wouldn't have.
okay, but okay, still fine. But like I just said, we going to a place to where they're putting everything in whatever state wants to do how they want to run it shit. That's how they want to run it. So if certain states, the Roe versus Wade thing that they got going on right now, the Supreme Court said, hey, we're going to take it away. It's not a taking away of the whole country. It's allowing states to say what they want to determine to be. California is not one of them states.
But North Carolina is. That's what I'm saying. We think in terms when it comes to politics. We think in terms of what just hits me. We claim we think about the whole country, but we don't, because how you're speaking proves that point. You're saying, well, they put it in the state's hands. As a man, it really didn't affect me. It really didn't affect my state. But what about the states that it did? And the women, it affected us, gender, affected people of certain states. So that's just one example of how who is in that office can affect people's lives. We think that it can't, but that's just one example where it can. Absolutely can. We hearing things about going back to 1798 laws. People don't realize how much that entails. Just like the Hispanic Latino community, they're like, well, okay, if I'm documented, that don't mean me if I was born here. But 1798 laws said that not only will the person that came over undocumented is going back, but all of their offsprings is going back. I mean, people really need to look at this beyond just themselves, but look at this as a whole. And everything's going to eventually hit your ass. Excuse my language.
I understand what you're saying, Cruz. So can I say this? So even with you're correct on everything that you just said. So if Kamala Harris becomes president, it doesn't change on what the Supreme Court is ruling and already said. She can't come in unless she does what that nigga Trump was doing when he was president and making executive orders. And I still don't even think she can do that on the Roe versus Wade thing. So what changes because she becomes president?
We don't have any more of that type things done. What can somebody tell me? Let's put her aside, because I think to avoid.
No, we can't put her aside.
Well, let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought to answer you. In order to answer you,
that part of it, I mean.
Okay, let's not put her aside because that's going to bother you. But let me answer you.
No, that doesn't bother me. I don't care who the fuck president is.
However, may I answer though? Is that okay?
What the Supreme Court is.
May I answer in my way? Or you don't want to hear my answer?
What's the difference? Go ahead.
Okay, so let's say that Kermit the Frog is running against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Who is comfortable with Trump being their president? That's why I said let's put her aside. Who is comfortable with Trump being their president and all that may go with it?
Cruiser, you're not understanding what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who the fuck the president is.
It does matter who the president is. Let me give it
okay, go ahead.
Let me give you another example why it matters.
I'm gonna let you know why I say it does matter, but okay, go ahead.
Another example of why it matters is how things are handled. Mm-hmm. If somebody asks me, why am I voting against Trump? Because for me, it ain't really as much for Kamala, but it's more against Trump. If somebody asks me my number one reason of why I stand against Trump, and this is number one of 100 reasons, but this is number one. In how he handled the whole pandemic, from the moment of coming in and ending the research for deadly disease, ending that research and taking away that funding, to knowing about it. And I can't say some things because I don't want to dox myself. But I will say this. It was known in September, October, and he as the president knew. There was measures that he could have took and he did not. And then he said, I don't want to cause mass confusion and panic. Well, you don't think that us watching hundreds and then thousands of people dying daily wasn't panic? Now, for a person who caught it in 2020, in the thick of it, and I'm back at the place, I'm back at one of the first places that I announced when I first came back online after I had it. Sir King, did I not have it very early? Remember when I had it very early? He could have avoided that. So that is another example of how the president affects your life. Because when things come up that affects everybody, how that president handles that, or how their lack of handling that affects you. And I can't see how any black man, Trump just sat up on TV the other day and said that his beautiful white skin, he went on for 5 minutes about his beautiful white skin. I don't see how no black man, you got to be self-hating. You got to be self-hating to not vote against that man. Because I'm not talking to you on that. I'm talking to somebody in the chat.
Okay.
I'm talking to somebody in the chat. Talking about she's a Democrat. I'm a black woman first. Let me finish. Let me talk to this person in the chat, and I'm gonna shut up for a good 10, 15 minutes. Fuck the Democrat. Oh, excuse me, Sir Cam. I'll see you, catch. But forget the Democrat. I'm a woman. Forget the Democrat. I'm black. Forget the Democrat. I'm a human being. I'm done now.
Okay, that part wasn't towards me. Okay. I almost thought you. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't ever said I was going to vote for any president. But, I mean, we still have to look at the whole fact of the House, the representative, and Supreme Court level of things. And the pandemic part of things, you know what? I don't like to touch on that because guess what? We're past that. That's in the past. I don't like to look at past stuff and make that an issue for my future or my present. And like I said, I don't care who becomes the president because the Roe versus Wade thing is a Supreme Court thing. So Donald came in and hey, they voted more conservatives up in the Supreme Court. But the United States still gives the rights to the states that they live in. So guess what? Like I said, I vote on issues in the state that I live in. You say you from North Carolina and they trying to, push that whole, abortion thing there. It's time for the people in North Carolina to stand up and say, we're not going to have that shit and get the rights back to the women there. Because no matter what, the president, no matter who the president is, you're not going to be able to come in and change what the Supreme Court has already ruled.
Well, that's obviously not true because Trump did. Once again, he did it by his first course of action was appointing Supreme Court. And then once he appointed who he had, he lined it up to do it. So I can't see. I don't understand how you keep saying that. I don't understand how you keep saying that. And I will agree with you on one thing. As soon as I start to make a point, you start saying, "Hold up." I gotta finish my point.
No. Every president has the right to appoint a person to the Supreme Court.
And they appoint Supreme Court. You think they just pick people because they like them? They pick people because of agendas. They have agendas.
When there's an opening, right now there's not an opening. So if there was an opening, because
it's a few of them getting pretty old.
And now believe me, I believe there should be term limits on Senate, House, all that, Supreme Court judges, I think it should be a term limit.
There is term limits on Senate.
Really? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Congress motherfuckers, ain't no term limits on them.
No, they need term limits, meaning after they
they
run
need
their course
term
for a
limits.
certain amount of time, then that's it. There is none. I'm
There's
definitely
no
term
term
limits.
limits on Congress.
U.S.
None.
Senate. U.S.
Or
Senate.
Supreme Court judges. There's no term limit.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't on Supreme Court judges, but I'm not. I'm not beyond learning.
So when that one lady left, yeah, he appointed one, and I mean, so if there's another opening, that's when that comes in. The Supreme Court rules on what they're gonna do, and that's what we got to live with. But they're allowing each state to do it. So that means each state that has the issue with that, the people of that state have to come together and say, fuck this shit, and bring it back to where it is. California not going to follow that. North Carolina need to follow what California doing.
So here's the thing. Here's the problem with that, landlord, is that maybe for right now that you might think that that's the case, that California is not going to follow that. But then if the states are always in power to make those types of decisions, then you always have to wonder or try to, think, hey, is in the next 10 years, is it going to be different? The things happen, migrations happen, people change, so it'll change constantly. So the reason for a nationwide type of a blanket is so that this is what it is. This is the narrative of the piece of legislation that is put in place as it pertains to this. And what we're going to do, it is going to lay on every state in the entire union. And that's that. And that
Federal protection. Some things need to be federally protected and not put in the state's hands.
Right.
How do we get there besides debating on who's the best president supposed to be? How do we get there?
Well, that's the
because that's one of the branches of government. I mean, how you going to just
exactly.
How you just going to ignore one branch of government? Now, I will agree with you on that we need to. The Democrats definitely need to flip 4 seats. Definitely need to flip 4 seats in the House and get those seats, make those Democrat seats. That definitely need to happen. I certainly agree with you on that, because that does make a difference to the president's power. Because one thing about Democrats, they're not going to use no veto power like the Republicans will. But somebody said in the chat, what they said, I have to go back to it.
Cruiser,
but the Republicans will use their veto power.
I have to say this, and I understand that, and Democrats would do the same. I don't care about the Democrats or Republican type of thing either, because even being here in California, the Democrats, I think blue states fucked up the states. Crime is fucked up. Homelessness is fucked up. As much as California go, the rest of the nation follows. It's the same. Man, we fucked up out here. We are fucked up out here, and it's a struggle to survive out here. And man,
so what's your solution to that?
So let's So landlord, let me say this. I'm in a purple state. I'm in a purple state, and we're having the same exact problems as you.
My solution is it has to come down to the people stand up and say no more.
Right.
That's all it really comes down to.
Right.
Stop saying that you're a Republican and follow those beliefs. Stop saying that you're a Democrat, follow those beliefs. Man, be a free thinker, but also
landlord, just because somebody may identify as one or the other does not mean that they don't vote. They don't watch. They're not a free thinker.
No,
don't get all caught up with titles. Don't get caught up with that.
Exactly. And
You
that's what
know,
I'm saying.
don't get stuck on that.
The
Right,
only
and
way,
People
here's
get
the
the
thing:
way
way,
too stuck on that.
it's about the,
If,
but it's
if we
about
don't
the
learn right now that
participation.
people are not stuck on those titles, when
okay,
we seeing
right.
Barbara Bush, the
You're right.
daughter,
You're right.
switching over and voting blue. We see George Bush, George W. Bush just pretty much said he's voting blue. You got Liz Cheney
You're right.
voting blue.
You're
Don't
right.
get caught
Let's
up on
put the
that,
people.
because when
Let's
it
You're
comes
right. You're right.
let's put the people to call it
issue,
now.
people will change.
It comes down to the people saying fuck all this shit and standing up together and making the difference then.
Can I interject? What's up, Sir King? How you doing, brother? This Noble.
How you doing? Good in yourself? How you doing, Noble?
I'm all right. I just wanted to interject. It's not so much far as my political stance. I go about far as universal law and the law of the land. Um, I identify myself as a Moor, and I study law, constitutional law, state law. I study the laws, and just like I was saying, it really don't matter which one go up in there. Just like Landlord was saying, it's about who we vote for our sheriff, our mayor, our governor, our city council, things like that. That's what matters, because if people don't really understand is that these states are actually separate governments. They all got their own flag and they all got their own constitution. Washington, D.C. is a satellite country. It's not really a part of the United States of America. It's a district of Columbia, 4x4. 4 miles wide, 10 miles long, it's 10 by 10. They govern themselves within that 10 by 10. That has nothing to do with the people. Each state has their own laws, has their own jurisdiction, has their own policies. And okay, we may have a president in there, but his laws cannot be put into law until it goes through the Congress and the Senate. Those things have to be agreed upon. That's what we call checks and balances. And during all this time, these last 20, 30 years, there haven't been proper checks and balances. And so it's been business as usual. All these corporations, the United States ain't a nation, it's a corporation. What people need to do is really get away from the fact that, you know what I'm saying, this is like a nation governed by the people. No, it's governed by corporations until the people stand up and say, look, this is what we got to do. And I agree with that.
Noble, can I ask you something?
Facts.
May I ask you something,
When I'm
Noble?
done, when I'm done, you can answer, because I'm not going to be long. All right. And what we need to do as a people is be more educated, not about who's Democrat and who's Republican, but the laws and the constitution of each state that we are in. We have to know the jurisdiction. We have to know certain laws and bylaws that govern the land. It's about the law of the land, not the law of maritime. We up on the maritime law. And if people don't understand that,
That's different. Now, Noble, that's maritime law is different.
While he's
But
say it again.
Y'all go ahead.
what's the
maritime law?
constitutions of each state?
Maritime law is the law of the sea. When you go inside of a courtroom and you see a flag with the gold fringes on it, that's maritime law.
I'm very familiar.
That's
So
what
we're
I'm
under.
saying.
So I'm very familiar with maritime law. So we're under maritime law.
Yeah, because when you go into court, what's on the court? A docket, right? It's called a docket. A dock.
Yeah, you
It's a docket.
go real deep right now with some shit.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's the context, and everything has to be placed in proper context. But I know, Cruiser, you want to say something. But let me just say, if this office is not important, then it would not be something that is played out as fervently as it is. And it, just like people say, just like voting, oh, it doesn't matter if you do it or not, which is another humdinger of a lie. And it's unfortunate. Just because it's her, but because it's a woman now, that it just so happens to be, it's not that important. Well, let me just say this.
Hillary Clinton. It was the
Let
same
me
thing
say
in
this.
Clinton.
No,
get on that, may I ask my question real quick?
This is what happens when people decide
May I
that
ask my
they
question? Because
just want
before
to
y'all, y'all
totally
about to get back on
deflect
the
from the
who's who.
office.
Hold
It
on,
is
y'all.
not the case. It is just as important as it was if it's Cheeto or if it's that thing that's totally uneducated and unrelated to that particular office as it is as important when Kamala gets in office. I'm telling you, it is important to have the right type of representation as the CEO of this corporation. Period. It is very
Noble, can you
important.
explain to us veto power? Can you, because you're saying we need to understand the branches of government and how the law of the land and power and all of that work. We need to be educated on that. Can you explain to us veto power?
Well, I
Well,
mean,
veto.
you
Well,
mean
veto. Go ahead. Because what I'm trying to say is that veto power don't matter if you don't know the jurisdictional law of the land. If we don't understand jurisdictional power, veto means nothing because we don't know
we
the
don't.
wait,
But just because you don't, they
please,
do.
please, let me
It
finish.
don't mean nothing
Please,
to who. Can you
let
explain
me
to
let
me?
me
I
finish.
ask again. I
Go
ask
ahead.
again.
Okay.
I don't like that's why I like talking about politics.
Noble. Pretend like I understand and explain to me veto power. Because the people who do understand it, they're the ones who got it. So explain to me veto
That's
power.
right.
Veto power don't matter to me because I'm not under
Do
their
you not? So
jurisdiction.
does that mean you don't know what it means? Does that
I'm
mean you
not
don't know what
saying I
that gives
don't
the
know what it
authority to
means, but it
give?
don't.
Because
But it don't.
you said
Listen,
earlier that we need to understand and know these things. So we have to understand it, and you can't tell us the parts
listen
that
to
we
me,
don't
right?
need to know, and the
That's
parts we
fine.
do need to
That's
know.
fine. That's
Explain to
fine.
me veto
That's fine.
power.
That's fine. Veto power don't apply to me. That apply to
It sure don't,
citizens.
because you ain't got the power to
Listen,
veto anything. But go
it
ahead.
it depends. But veto power depends on the citizens of the corporation of the United States of America. That's what the veto power really means. It has nothing to do with who I am as a man, as a God fearing man, a man of God,
We don't
right?
deal with the
A child
president.
of this.
You're rambling, Noble. You're rambling.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not rambling because this is
Because
something wait.
explaining veto power
Go
will
ahead.
make everything
What
you
do
just
veto?
said don't make no
Okay, now
sense.
listen. What I'm saying is, what do veto power have to do with me when it has no jurisdiction over my government as a human, as a man, just like you? What do that jurisdiction has anything to do with
So
you?
you're saying that you so
Hold on,
you're
just like
saying as a man,
okay.
as a human being, you don't have to obey the laws of this land. You don't have to obey the laws of the United States. You're saying
Just
you're
like
beyond
just,
it.
just like I said, see, we got all these educated people out here, but they don't understand maritime law. We are under maritime law, not the law of the land. I just said that. So we're not dealing with the law of the land, we're dealing with the law of the sea.
Laws of the sea don't match the laws that I have to deal with, honey.
All right, you deal with it every day. You don't know it. Every time you go inside a court, you see that flag with the gold fringes. That is
I
maritime
don't give a
law.
fuck what. You gonna make me give,
Hold on, so
give
you
all,
get
I
all
don't
right.
care what
I'm
I
about
know.
to get up out of here. I'm about to get up out of this
Listen.
because
No,
I'm not
but
about
what's
to
the
go
last?
through
Hold
this.
on. Let me ask
Go
you a
ahead.
question,
You
Noble.
can vote for
What's
who
the
you
last
want
time
to
you've been
vote
on the
for.
sea? Tell me,
You
other
can
than
vote.
when you was in
Listen,
Detroit,
you can
on
vote
that,
for who you
other
want
than
to
when
vote
y'all got
for.
on that little ship. When was the last
You can
time
vote.
you
You
took
can
your black
listen.
tail on the sea? Because you
You
trying to
can
tell me
vote.
about sea laws. I want to know when you was on the sea and know anything
All
about
right.
them sea
Okay.
laws.
All right.
Well, cruiser
Because
always is on
I
the
assure
sea.
with you, I can tell you when the last time I've been up under maritime law. March,
Right.
April, May, August, and again this month. And maritime law, sir,
Maritime law is
does
what?
not
What is
match the
maritime
law
law?
of this land.
What
The
is
laws that
maritime
I
law?
have to
Okay,
the laws
well,
that I have to follow when I step my behind on that ship. First of all, under maritime law, when I get up
I'm
on that
about to
ship,
prove something to you.
hold up, let me finish because you talking about maritime.
I'm about
You
to
in
prove
my
something to
territory
you right
now.
quick, though.
You
Go
where
ahead.
I live. Let me finish because you where I live now. When I get up on that ship, okay,
I'm about to
and
prove
when I
something.
first get up on there, I'm under Miami law, Orlando law, Fort
Yep.
Lauderdale law, Texas law, whatever, New York law. But when that ship sails out into the sea, this is how I know I'm no longer under land laws.
You know what the first thing happens? Let me tell you the first thing happens. I step up to that bar and I buy a drink and I don't pay a single dime in
Not a
tax.
tax. There you
Come
go.
on, somebody. You're gonna make me walk
Tell
from that.
it.
So when
I
you
know.
talk about maritime law, let me tell you something. If you 21 in the United States, you can't drink, but guess what you can do on a ship under maritime law?
I'm gonna tell you this. Do you have a birth
18-year-olds
certificate?
can drink. Let me tell you
Do you
something
have
else.
a
I can
birth
tell you about
certificate or a
maritime law.
social
I know
security
about
number?
maritime law. We ain't
Do
under
you
no
have a birth
maritime law,
certificate
baby,
or a
because every
social
time I
security
pay a
number?
tax, I got to pay my taxes tomorrow. Every
I
time I
don't.
pay a tax, that ain't no damn maritime law because ain't no
But I
laws,
don't
ain't
have
no
to pay
taxes out there,
taxes.
baby.
I don't have to pay taxes. I'm
Yes,
totally
you
exempt
do,
from tax.
Noble. You
No,
pay
I
taxes
don't.
when you purchase food, when you purchase certain
That's,
items, you
okay,
pay
that's a
taxes. Yes,
necessity.
you
I'm
do.
talking about income tax. That's a necessity, like food, clothing, shelter, like going to stores and shit. And if I really apply,
You mean to tell me
if I
you don't
really,
taxes
I
don't
don't
come
pay no taxes.
out of your check?
I don't mean
I
no
filed a
harm, but
report.
no, he don't pay no taxes.
I
When you
don't.
say
I'm a
you don't,
Moor.
when I hear a
I'm
person
an
say they don't
indigenous
pay no
Moor.
income taxes, that tells me they're below a certain tax bracket
Okay,
where they're
so
gonna get a
taxation.
refund for
Okay, so when
credits rather than having to pay. I
so
understand you're right.
taxation without okay, so you paying taxes, but you not being properly represented in your government. We up here marching and fighting for our civil rights, but we paying taxes. We shouldn't have to pay taxes. We up here fighting for laws and stuff, but we being taxed, but we not being represented by the people we put in motherfucking government.
But shouldn't we
But
know
every
that
time they
without
have to give you a
we know
representation
that
handout,
there's
is
certain
you
illegal.
represent it.
indiscretions, but we still have to pay into our
No,
system,
you
and
don't.
that does not mean
No,
well.
you
Then
don't.
you don't. Then
No, no,
you
you don't.
find where you are. Until
I haven't
certain things
checked.
happen, and
Listen,
I'm
listen
going
to
to
what I'm
continue.
saying.
Let me say this: this is
Okay,
nothing new. I am not estranged to politics.
I know
Like I
you're not.
said,
I know you're
not
fully
at
ready.
all. I started with all those people in New York, all the dynamos. The bottom line is that we still have issues, like Landlord was saying, that there's
Mm-hmm.
certain things that have state authority that are attached to it. There's certain things that are federal, of course, and there's certain things that are city. They are all important. They have all levels, and they all
And they
must
have.
be understood. And it must be understood that you cannot go around here and just not pay taxes. You cannot go around here and not do certain things.
They
And the
have.
bottom line is that if you are, let me say this, if those are people who want to consider themselves to be not of a certain Moors or whatever, here's what
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do. Then you don't pay into Social Security.
I
Don't
don't.
get Social Security.
I
Don't
don't.
get nothing from this country. Don't get your share of the land and
Mm-hmm.
then live on that, and y'all do what y'all got to do and create your system.
Okay,
Noble, I don't mean no harm, but Noble, you
look,
really need
what
to
do you
stand
mean
down on this
harm?
because
You
we
mean
know
a lot of
way
harm?
too much about you for you to be up here shooting this bull crap to us. We know
You say
way
what
too
you say?
much about. You cannot use the sources in all of the resources of the government and then say you ain't under the government. And we know you to use the sources. If you don't use them yourself, people around you that's close to you,
And that's for everybody,
you
not
live
just
with
for
a
him.
relative that do.
Y'all
You
not
have
even letting me
children
talk.
that may do, and I don't mean I'm not being shady. I'm just saying we know
Y'all
too
being
much
shady as
about you
fuck.
for you to be trying to be around here claiming that I don't follow the laws of this land and the
I
laws of the
don't.
government. If you receive a
I follow
dime
common
from
law.
the government in any kind of way, you
I
under
follow
the
law of the land.
laws and the monarchy of this government, sir.
Monarchy. You
When you
said
take a
monarchy.
penny.
We under a monarchy now? Are we under a monarchy or are we under a republic, a
That's the
government
way you
republic?
trying to make it seem. That's the way you trying to make it seem. And I'm talking to Noble. I'm talking to Noble based on no, we're not under monarchy, but the way he trying to act like I'm not under the laws of this government. I don't follow the laws of this land. It's always the people who receive so much from the government, who benefit so much from the government, who want so much from the government, are the main ones who don't want to vote, who claim they don't want to pay taxes, who don't want to pay into the system. They want to take out, but they don't want to put in. Noble, sweetheart, I don't mean no harm, and
I
I'm
don't
not
care.
trying to
It
shade
don't
you,
matter.
but we know
It
too
don't
much
matter.
about you for you to be
It don't
shooting
matter.
us this bullshit now.
What you know
Now
about me?
you're not in a position to come up here and shoot us
What
this
do you know?
mess.
But hold on, now you're making it personal. What do you know about me?
Making it personal, but I'm just keeping it real. It
What do
is
you know
personal to
about
me
me
when
though?
people be trying to shoot this bullshit
All right, I'll
and
slow
convince
down.
people you don't need to vote, you don't need to pay taxes.
I'm not
Well, we
convincing
know
nobody
better.
of anything. I'm
We
not. This is how I roll. I'm not telling nobody to roll. Go ahead. My bad. My bad.
Hold on, Noble. Hold on, real quick. Hey, Sir King, what's up with you, bro? Appreciate you letting
Hello.
us up on the panel, man. What's
No
up?
doubt, I appreciate you. No doubt.
What's up?
And
With
just
it?
so you know, just so y'all know, we were talking about some parts of the global currency reset, and that was
Okay.
that's what. So it stemmed into, and it's I guess you could say it
Right.
bled into government because
Yeah, I
Right.
we're
can't
trying
wait
to.
to talk
Sir
about.
King and
Can't
I
wait
are
to talk
trying to
about.
figure out if Cheeto gets in or if Madam President gets in,
Okay.
then
Oh my.
what's going to happen with our investment? That's
With
what
the
we're
currency.
trying to
Okay,
figure
okay,
out.
okay,
All
okay.
right. Can I speak on that right quick?
You
Can I
see.
just speak on it right quick? I just want to touch on it. At this point, right now, the dollar is declining. You have something called the BRICS nations that are coming together and they are going by a gold standard. We are not in the petrodollar no more. We're going into a gold standard. We're going into a whole different type of currency system. So when you was talking about the reset of the currency, that's what we're going into. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what you talking about? So I can get an
Something
understanding.
totally different. It's something Sir King has been talking about for years. It goes back a long time, and
Yeah,
So it's all of that, the bricks and everything. We
yeah.
know we got that, but this
Okay.
is something that occurs ever so often in
A
history.
reset.
That's
Yes,
all.
yes, yes. It do happens every
And they
so
call
several
they call it a
100,000 years,
global currency
50,000 years.
reset,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
something totally different.
yeah. And then it goes into like, we have our own thoughts and ideologies about government politics and things like that. I don't think that us having arguments about how we think and how we operate under these laws of government and things like that shouldn't be argued, or we shouldn't be up here having these like heated debates about it. What we should be doing as people of this nation, of this United States government, we should be coming together as a people and using our own checks and balances of our government instead of letting the government control us. We are supposed to be controlling the government. The Constitution says we the people. It don't say them the people. It say we the people. We the ones that run this government. Even before there was a United States government, there was a government here that taught them how to govern themselves. And that was us over here with this land.
Noble, can you tell us personally what you are doing to be we the people and run this government?
I'm trying to operate up under my own sovereign law and deal with people that's trying to get their own land to become independent of the United
So are
States.
you actually working towards that? Is there something that you're actually doing? Because I hear people talking and I don't mean no harm, and it is personal, and it do
Everybody mean
annoy the
harm.
heck out of me because I hear people doing a lot of talking, but I never see people doing a lot of actual doing it. There's a lot of ideas and talking, and we should be doing this, but I don't. And you hear this year after year after year after year, but I never see these people actually doing it. I'm a doer. I'm not really into talking. I'm a doer.
Because you're not in that circle of people. You might see us with our fezzes on and our turbans on. We all them crazy Moors. They don't know what they talking about. They getting locked up and stuff like that. We are actually making movement. We actually do y'all this is something I want people to understand.
So when are we going to see the manifestation of these movements? I guess is what I'm saying. Let me give you an example. There's a group of us here out in North Carolina where I'm at that we're no longer trusting the food in the grocery stores. So we have said, you know what? We're going to grow our own food. We're going to start coming back. We're going to start having our own farms and stuff. We're going to stop eating that stuff out of the grocery stores and stuff. And I actually see the manifestation from it. A lot of my fruits and vegetables now, I go on over to Jamestown and get what I need, and soon it's going to start being the meat. So I have seen over the years, they actually not only talked about it, but they're actually doing it. The problem that I see with a lot of these, now you say Moors, I ain't never heard of that before. You never see the manifestation of this. It's just talk.
They talk. Yeah, it's a lot of talk. Okay, Cruiser. Let's Cruiser.
Real quick,
go ahead, brother.
Cruiser, I'm hearing you about the whole growing your own vegetables, and I'm gonna take it to where they were saying that how Barack didn't help out black folks or whatever. They don't understand. There's and it's still going on right now, to where if you could get money if you own a farm, especially you're a black farmer, and grow your own vegetables.
Personally,
I didn't know. I don't know if y'all know that in North Carolina about growing your own vegetables and food.
Yes.
Farm and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
Obama
she's right next to she's right next to the most prestigious institution that basically had it not been for
Agriculture.
Okay. I mean, hey,
the prestigious institution that number one was
because
able
the thing is,
to
I
garner
have
the
land in
right, was
Mississippi.
able to garner the money, but also it was the people there in that city that that came to the institution and the people came together and they got it done because
Oh,
I saw. Let me
that's
just
where it
say this
started
because
at.
I'm all the way in a whole nother
Okay.
state, in a battleground state, and here's what I saw. I saw the monies that were given to certain people in certain various states of the United States and various institutions, and it was then all the other stuff. The monies were given to the people in those communities. That did happen, and that didn't just happen just yesterday. So it
Yeah.
happened several years ago.
Yeah. I
One
mean,
thing I have to say,
I have also, I'm originally, I was born in Mississippi, so I have family land, and where me and my family live.
Yes,
We jumped on that shit.
I know that's right.
And,
The
and
lots
we,
for a
we,
Listen,
we
dollar in
whenever
went
you hear
Mississippi.
Cruiser talking, I'm not just talking. You best believe I'm doing.
Oh
And
yeah,
so, and when I say, and when I talk about, growing our own food, I'm not talking about for profit. I'm talking about just for,
no,
it's like
For yourself.
Noble is
and
saying,
disrespect
being self-sufficient and not dependent on the government. I'm getting, and that's fine for him. I'm just saying if that's what you want to do, I agree with doing that. But please make sure you're not just talking it, that you're actually walking in that.
what I'm saying, Cruz, is that just like I said earlier, we all have our own thoughts, ideologies, and things like that based upon on how, we perceive government. You know what I'm saying? We see it's just like religion. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with religion. You know what I'm saying? Some people believe in Christ, some people believe in Buddha, some people believe in Allah. But at the end of the day, we still believe in God, right? So what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it's about the people. You know what I'm saying? Just like you saying, I agree with everything y'all saying. Trust me, I do. But at the end of the day, it's about the people. You know what I'm saying? Okay, just like if we all wanted to come together collectively and go buy some land, we can do that, right? And we could feed ourselves, we put houses on that and everything, right? But
Yes.
will we be totally self-sufficient away from the government?
But my problem with that is
No,
that
we won't,
is
because at the end of the
some of
day,
us are willing to go ahead and do, and some people are just talking. So it's hard to trust people who's talking all of this stuff because you sit back and you watch them and you ain't seen nothing manifest.
Don't politicians talk? Ain't that all they do? Is talk. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Ain't that all they doing is talking? But when they get in that
What's that got
office,
to do with what you're talking about? Because you're saying it's the people getting together. So Cruiser just said it's hard to engage with other people and even trust people because all they do is talk, and then they suck you dry, and then they scheme and scam, and then they have all these thoughts about, oh, we're not gonna. You have to follow. When I say follow the government, I'm not gonna say I'm disassembled away from any government. I'm not gonna say that. I am here. I am going to pay my piper, and I'm going to do the things that is necessary within the law. When there are certain things that just don't agree with me, I know what to do, and I know how to make some changes. Myself, with my representatives, et cetera, et cetera. And here's the thing: it's really funny how a lot of folks who we've been working this thing, we've been working and doing politics for a very long time. And El mentioned something about landlord mentioned something about Mississippi. Let me tell you something. There are $1 lots in Mississippi, and they are just staying there stagnant. And there are a myriad of people in Mississippi. Get those daggone lots for $1 and do something with the land. And there are now people are waking up. We have one lady here in the YouTube streets, Deanna. Deanna mentioned that about 5 years ago. She mentioned that $1 lot thing. And I was like, wow, listen at her. I was like really intrigued, and I found out myself how Mississippi and what Mississippi is doing. And so it's not just Mississippi. Then I found out in my own backyard, right in my own face, the snake could have bit me was right here, that they're doing the same things. And I'm like, you know what? I got on it. I've always been meaning to tell Deanna, thank you for it. But guess what? It's a lot of stuff that's happening. We can do it. Things are happening in every part of the country. If I could talk to Landlord about this and he dropped knowledge, you dropped gems, Noble, Sir King, and I always been talking about resetting. Cruiser, I know for a fact, doing the things that she's doing with the folks that she's doing and institutions she's doing it with. And the bottom line is that once we get together and start talking this, then we can be pristine about, or we can be really pristine about what our execution is going to be.
I agree with that, PC, and I agree with that. But I agree with that 100%. But how can we begin to have that type of conversation when a person, when I'm like when a person is like trying to have this conversation, and then it's got to become a debate, and we're not coming up with no solutions. We're just point counterpoint. Let's come with some solutions. Let's come together.
We're coming up with solutions. We're just not putting them into play.
Every time I can't even make a point because I can't get my thought out. You know, I ain't saying nothing. I'll let y'all talk.
Because what you said, you know, you get to rambling. We already having a conversation.
Okay, well, go ahead. I'll drop down.
It's the action that needs to go on right now.
Okay, I'll drop down. Y'all be easy. Peace and love.
No, it ain't for you.
Yeah, we're in the action phase. There you go, Landlord. Thank you for saying that. We're in the action phase. Black folks talk.
Listen, so how you don't, but this is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm also saying. How you don't know I'm in the action phase? I'm not in the action phase. It's just like how you just said, you know me personally. I'm like, what? You don't know me. You just know me from YouTube. You ain't walked in my shoes. You don't know what I actually doing out here.
I did ask you what you were doing, and you came back and told me you were doing discussions. I asked you what were you doing to. I said, what are you doing personally to make these resolutions? And you came back to having discussions about making these resolutions. Discussions are not doing. The discussions are talking.
I don't remember saying that, but if I said it, okay, I may have said it in the guise of, okay, let's have these discussions so we can figure out which way we going. But when I started talking, it's like, no. You don't know nothing about that. I know you. I'm like, what? That make me feel like, okay, if I did have anything to bring to the table, y'all not gonna accept it no way because y'all it's like I'm being attacked. It's not like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but that's how I feel. I feel like I'm being dog-piled because
actually he's right. I did. You're right about that, Noble. I did attack you. You're correct.
And I respect how you feel about whatever you're doing. I respect that. That's your thing. My thing is that I'm trying to become, and my people, and I wish that all of our people would try to become self-governed and don't have to rely on them that's persecuting us and fucking us over. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? We got to fight for civil rights. When civil rights that's a law of being a person. And what's a right to be civil? You don't need a right to be civil. Civil is a word from civilization. We are civil if we having a civilization. So why should we have civil rights when that should already be our right to be civil? You understand?
Let me start by saying I apologize because I did attack you and go personal, and you were exactly right about that. I did.
It's all good. I understand.
Part of the way to govern ourselves and take our power back is to we got to get in the position where we are buying land, where we're making our own food, where we're not dependent, or we're not going to the grocery stores, we're not going to the restaurants, we're not making the people that we're trying to gain true independence from richer and richer. You see what I'm saying? Christmas is coming around. Folk gonna go crazy and buy out the stores for Santa Claus. Ain't nobody gonna stop spending. You know. So again, I'm an action girl. You know, I'm gonna talk about it for a little while, but I'm a doer. Also, before you start repeating this is probably going to be insulting again, and I apologize in advance. Before you start repeating things like we're on maritime law, I really need for you to understand what you are indeed saying and repeating, because even that kind of made me lose it a little bit for you.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I know what I'm saying when you say that. It's okay.
I mean, it made me lose it a little bit for you because it's like he don't know what he's talking about. Because
I know exactly. I
I've
know
been
what
on
I'm talking about.
maritime law and I've been on land law, and they ain't the same, you know.
I know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
You have to ask him, does he live on a boat? Maybe that's what he thinks. Why maritime law? Why maritime law? You have to ask him if he lives on a boat. So, do you live on a boat?
No, I don't live on the boat.
Okay, sorry, I tried to help you out. Okay,
but this is the thing. I think this is what I'm saying, and you know, I won't go too deep into it because it's like it's a lot of shit. But the thing is that before there was a law of the land, right? Like before they came over here and colonized America,
You said
right?
it was a law of the sea first.
It was a law of the land first. They were maritime voyagers that was coming on ships. And so when they docked, they brought their same law to the land. They started dealing with the Aboriginal people where they didn't understand how they was able to govern themselves.
You think
right?
that? They brought
And
sea
then
laws.
they started, then they start understand. Then we had to teach them law. We had to teach them how to govern themselves. That's when the first 13 colonies and all that, you know what I'm saying? We can go into the Constitution of the Cherokees of the not the Aboriginal nations, but the 13 tribes. We can go into that, you know what I'm saying? But that's too deep. Let's keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? We are
That would mean the land law will dominate maritime law if you
exactly.
You said
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But because we're up under a certain type of jurisdiction, which is maritime law, like when I say, when you go inside a court, what do you see? A flag with gold fringes. That's maritime law. Well, every time you go inside of a court, you do what? You're under a docket, a dock. We have to understand the legalese of the things that they actually put out there in our face. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I need to ask a question so that I can understand because you're taking me a little bit too fast here.
Yeah, it's a lot. I can't
Other than
explain
keep
it.
telling me about a flag that I'm looking at, because there's many symbols and stuff in a courtroom. So instead of telling me about a flag that I'm looking at and using the word docket, which comes from doc. Well, hold on. Other than those two symbols, how are we today in 2024 under maritime law? Now that flag don't make us under it. What activities is happening to make us under maritime law?
Do you have a birth certificate?
Yes.
Do you have a social security number?
Yes.
There you go. Say less.
How does that make it maritime?
Explain that though, Noble. She's saying
All right.
explain it.
When a ship leaves, when the ship leaves the port, right? Or the dock, what they call that? They call it birth, right? It's a birth. So when you get a birth certificate and they got that stamp on it, that's up under maritime law. You can do your research. You can look it up yourself.
Which we just did. So can you see can you see what I put on the screen? It don't say nothing about no damn dock at the sea.
Okay, what you got up there? I can't see it. Let me see.
It says the word docket originated in England in the Middle English period, 1150 through the 1500s. The earliest known use of the word was in the form dogged in 1485. The word's origin, original meaning are unclear, but it may come from the word to dock, which means to cut short. In legal terms, a docket is a record of all proceedings and files in a court case. Docket call is a court proceeding where the judge or the clerk calls out the cases on the docket to determine their status. The word docket can also be used as slang to mean what someone is doing on a given day. For example, if someone asks what's on your docket for the day, they're asking what you're doing today.
I want you to go back to the second paragraph, right? And where it says, let me see, cases on the docket to determine their status. What's your status? Are you a minor?
A docket call is a court to a judgment court calls.
Right. But okay, so look it up in Black Law's Dictionary, first edition.
Black Law Dictionary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Laws Dictionary.
You got
Oh,
it? Black Laws Dictionary, look up docket.
but that's what the judges use.
That's the law. This is what I'm saying. That's the law. This is what they use it on
But
us. If we don't
everybody
know it,
isn't always. You see, here's what. This is
ignorance of the law is no excuse.
excuse me.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse. If you don't know the law,
That's
that's
noble. Okay, I've been saying that. I got that. That's
He is
not what I'm saying
concerning
right
birth
now.
certificate as in birth when you have well,
What is going on right now?
he's thinking the word
What's going on right now?
BIRTH is the same as BERTH. I am holding my head right now.
What the fuck
It's
is going
okay.
on?
It's fine.
I'm literally holding my head right now.
It's okay.
That's
It's
what,
all right.
right,
It's okay.
and that's what
It's
what they're trying to understand, and what
It's
I'm trying
okay.
to understand is that when
It's
you
all
said
right.
birth certificate and social security, how
Yeah.
does that correlate, or how does that correlate into maritime law?
Because it keeps you up under that law of that law, maritime law. It keeps you up under that.
Let me ask you something, Noble.
But you just
When
told
you
us
when
that we
you
were under
when you get
maritime
out on
law and
international
Y'all
not the law of
debating
the
it.
waters,
Y'all
land.
not trying to
So
understand.
you said we were
Y'all
under
dog
maritime. You
Noble,
said
fighting.
we
I don't
need to
get it.
be under
I
maritime
don't
law
get it.
and not the
Noble,
law of the
get it.
land. So then, how does
I
that?
don't get it.
So what are you saying? If
I don't
maritime law,
understand.
if the Social Security and the birth certificates are under maritime law, and you're
Yeah.
saying that we need to be under maritime law, then you're saying that
I
that's
didn't say we
okay.
had to be up under maritime law. I said we need to be up under common law and law of the land.
You
That's what
didn't
I
say
said.
so
common law.
Noble,
You
when
did not.
you get ready, when you get on the sea, you taking your social security card or you taking a passport?
Oh, but
I'm taking a passport.
And your social security number ain't on that passport.
I know.
Okay.
it's not. Okay.
I know.
But you
Do
didn't
you
say
know that?
common law
Hold on.
either.
One
You
second.
didn't
One
say
second.
common law, and that's something totally
One
different now.
second.
That's something totally
Y'all
different, though, Noble.
listen to me. Wow, my God. What I'm saying is that a passport trumps that. It trumps the ID. It trumps the social security card. It trumps the birth certificate. You can go anywhere in the world with a passport, but you can't go everywhere in the world with a state ID. When you go to another state, you got to change your ID if you're over there over 30 days. Am I correct? So you got to change your status every state you go in. You got to change your ID. But if you got a passport, you don't have to do that.
No, you don't have to. You don't necessarily have to. Depends on the circumstances.
You don't have to, period.
No,
And
no,
then
no,
if you have,
no,
and
no,
then
no. What I'm no, what I'm saying is that
wait a
even
minute,
with your state ID, like if I go to listen, if I go to the state of North Carolina and I stay there for 3 months, I don't have to change my state ID.
Okay,
I do not.
okay, that's fine. I ain't arguing with you. Okay, okay.
I don't know if that's just a North Carolina thing, but if you come here to California and you've been here 3 months and your address is here 3 months, they can write you a ticket for not having your damn shit switched over.
But what if I was visiting? What if I was just there? What if I was traveling and visiting?
That's different. That's different.
That's
Oh,
different.
okay. That's what I just said. It depends on
I
the
think
circumstances.
what landlord is talking about is driving privileges.
Right. That's
You don't
traveling.
need
That's right. That's
change.
totally
You don't need
different.
to update. You don't need to update your ID if you're in a state unless
As
you're
long as you're not
driving
using
or
the address of that state. If you're
It's
not
just like
Again,
it's just like
here in California,
I still don't have to change my ID. I do not.
Here in California, I could use my mailing address as one place, and I live in a different place, and they see my ID, and it's like, well, your ID says this. I'm like, well, I stay here. Well, you know, you get in trouble because you need to switch that shit over.
Yep.
And so that's what they do to us in California.
Because I have a national
So if
ID.
I'm working,
I have a
I don't
national
have to do
ID.
that.
I have a national identification card. I have a national tribal identification card. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I could go anywhere on this land that I want to. You know what I'm saying? And if I show it with my paperwork, I don't even have to have a license plate. And this is how powerful this information is once you know it. I can't just sit up here and tell you.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Come on, nigga. Come on, nigga.
It's a lot of people riding around here with license plates that say private. It's not registered to the Secretary of State. Because once you register your car, You know what I'm saying? Then you under the law, you can get a ticket because actually when you drive in a car, you're supposed to have a right to travel, right? But if you get pulled over for a ticket, guess what? You can tell them, you know what I'm saying? I'm traveling. I'm not doing commerce in this car. Now, if it was a taxi cab or a bus or something like that.
You know how many videos we just saw how niggas got fucked off trying to pull that?
Do you know how many? Do you know how many times?
No car
Hold on,
is.
wait a minute.
No car is.
Do you know how many times that I've got away? Do you know how many times I went in court by myself and fought my own case with these same laws and won? They cleared the whole courtroom out one day. It was just me and my grand sheep. You know what I'm saying? And they cleared the whole courtroom out, and they dismissed my case.
And it was registered to the. It was registered to the State Department. It's registered to the State Department.
What you talking about?
Your car.
My car? No, it's not. I have a private plate on it. My car isn't registered to the Secretary of State. For what? Because once you register the car, it's
You
pretty
said
much.
the State Department. You said the State Department.
I said the Secretary of State.
Sure.
Okay, that's the State Department.
If it's private, why you need a plate at all? Just drive around with nothing.
You making a joke out of it. This serious. I do this by life. You know, this is my life and my death. I'm not playing with it. So if y'all want to play with it, that's cool. I do this every day. You know what I'm saying? This is something I do. I'm really asking about.
Are we allowed to ask how many tickets you have incurred because of your stance on this? Because I'm sure you got a plethora of tickets.
I done had 2 tickets. I can tell you a story. When I was in Texas, I got pulled over by some Texas. I ran a red light. Didn't know it was a red light. I thought it was a left turn. It was a no left turn. I turned the light right. Police got behind me. I showed them my national ID.
Okay.
Showed them my national ID.
Where do you get that ID from?
Where I get it from? I got it from my grand sheep. I had to actually send certified letters out, all type of stuff to get myself nationalized.
Who's the grand sheep?
I'm not gonna give out that information on YouTube. Now we could talk about it privately, but I'm not gonna talk about it on YouTube.
So you're saying you have sovereign citizenship? Is what you're saying?
I ain't gonna say sovereign because that's a misnomer. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Aboriginal Moor. I'm not sovereign to anything. I'm not sovereign to anything but myself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He's a Moor.
So you can commit a crime, and you show something, and you're not penalized for it.
No, I can't go out here and kill and murder and steal and do something like that and think I ain't gonna go to jail. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. You know,
we talked about a vehicular situation. So if you ran a red light, or if you turned and it wasn't.
Yeah, I get a ticket, and I will get a ticket, and I have to go and I gotta go to court and deal with that. I'm not saying that I'm above the law, but it's about how you deal with the law. It's how you have to talk the same language they talking. You have to know what you're talking about. You just can't go in there like.
I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying? You got to know legalese. You got to know what they talk. You got to know the language. And if you don't know the language, that's why a lot of these people getting messed up out here. That's all these videos you seeing people out here getting messed up because they don't know. They just think they got an ID and some piece of paper that they know. No, you got to do your study. You really have to study this. This ain't something that you just get a couple piece of paper and an ID and you all right. No, you have to study this. You got to know what you're talking about when you're going in that court.
That's regular life, though. That don't have nothing to do with being a Moor and all that type of shit. That's just regular shit.
Okay, so if that
you got to go in the same courts we got to go into and explain ourselves.
But if that was so regular, if that was so regular and that was so common and they were so easy, everybody would be doing it.
Well, I mean, basically what you just said you did. I got stopped one time. I was stopped and I had to go into court. I went into court and told them what I had to tell them and came on out of there, and I ain't paid nothing either. But you know what both of us had to do? Go in that court. And you know when you went in that court, you stood before government.
Right.
No, I didn't stand before them. They stood before me.
Well, however, you stood before them, they stood
They
before
stood
you.
before me.
Y'all
Face to
stood up, sat
face.
down,
Come
laid
on,
down. You
Noble.
was in
Come
there.
on.
You walked into
You're
that
not.
court building. It's words of it's semantics.
Okay, let's find another subject to talk about because I'm not going to talk about this.
Hold on,
I'm
hold
not
on,
talking
hold
about
on.
them.
So you said your moorship can get you out of DUI?
I'm not saying that it'll get you out of DUI.
Oh
I'm
man,
just
that shit don't
saying,
be shit then.
what I'm saying is that if you can properly represent yourself with the right information,
But that's
right?
regular though.
Why
That's
you even gotta
regular.
represent yourself at all? I would tell them, look, I'm a Moor. I ain't coming down to your building.
Yeah, that's regular
That's
shit.
fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. I'm sorry I wasted
That's
y'all
what
time.
Cruiser
Hey,
got to come down to
listen,
your building.
listen,
I ain't coming down to your
No, it's all
building.
right.
I'm
It's
not
cool.
doing
It's
what
cool.
Cruiser doing.
I apologize. Hey, Sir King, I apologize for coming up here wasting y'all time. You know what I'm saying? I really do
Come on,
apologize.
see,
I'm
Noble,
sorry.
come on.
And
You see, this is what we cannot do. In the event that, listen, this is all. Listen, we cannot start running away when we have a situation when we say something and it's not necessarily popular or it's
no,
being
what I'm
taken.
saying is that,
This is
what I'm
having a
saying,
conversation,
TC,
and
what I'm
all we're
saying.
doing is asking questions
TC, no,
in
TC,
terms
what
of
I'm
you
saying.
went down to
Y'all
the
asking
court.
questions
You
to be
went down to the
repeated.
court. And
Y'all
that's all we're
asking
asking you
questions
the
to be
questions about
repeated.
what happened. You said
Y'all
that
asking
they
questions
stood
to be
before you,
repeated.
you stood before them. Okay, whoever, y'all were face to face, whatever.
Y'all
The
asking
bottom
questions
line
to be
is
repeated.
that if in the event, and I get you said there's certain things you don't want to say here, but if in the event that there are ways in which people can, we have to know the laws of the land. My thing is, don't get yourself in the situation to go there.
That's the point. That's why I think it's freedom, peace, love, and justice. That's how I stand. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. We trying to live. We're not out here trying to
May
hurt
I ask
nobody,
you
harm
something,
nobody.
Noble? May
Can I
I ask you
ask this one
something?
question? Can I ask this one question before you go? So with the whole thing about what you're saying, if what's going on with the Moore thing, you should never even reach court. So you able to pull that shit with the police right there on the street.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying.
You pose the whole court right there. You shouldn't even have to go to court. Because I'm gonna tell you, just like I wasn't finished saying that when I got stopped, and even when they gave me the ticket or whatever, I refused to sign it and everything. You know, I ain't gonna sign whatever they. Guess what they did? They gave me an escort to my destination, and where I was going, the police gave me an escort to my destination.
You know what bothers me about that, Noble? Let me tell you what bothers. Again, it goes back to what I said before. When you go, you're saying you don't pay taxes, but when you have to go in that courthouse to not pay anything, then I have to, because I pay taxes, I pay for the courthouse. You go in for them to stand. But let me finish. For them to stand before you. You driving on a road, so you have a car that you own and you driving on the road. How do those? How should we as the United States pay for the roads, for the upkeep of the roads that you're driving on? How should we pay for the stop signs and all of the stop lights so that we don't run into each other? So you're suggesting that everybody govern themselves and let's not pay nothing, but yet you're driving. You want to drive on roads and you don't want to have no tags on your car. You don't want to identify yourself. How are we supposed to run as a people and protect ourselves?
Because you actually being fun. Damn, my phone.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm being very serious.
I can't talk to these people.
I'm being very serious.
Ain't no
I am
talking
extremely
to
serious. You're driving on roads. Who pay for the roads you drive on?
For the upkeep. Who pays for the maintenance, the upkeep?
SpongeBob.
Not them little organizations that say they come and pick up litter every now and then, but they have to be upkept. They have to be kept
They have to be upkept because that's what my granddaddy did in Pinewood and Manning and Sumter, South Carolina. He worked for the government, paving them roads and upkeeping them roads that you drive on. So it costs to do that. Who pays for that? Who pays for the police that stops you? Who pays for the police who go out and get these people who actually breaks the law and harm people? Who pays for this stuff? Who pays for that courtroom that you walked in? Then you make them people stand before you. Who pays for this stuff? There's got to be something to govern this.
I'm just going to become Amish.
Yeah, there you go.
They're interesting. I sat next to them going down south. That was an interesting conversation because they vote. Well, I ain't gonna go there. Who they
You gonna
voting
have to
for?
register your buggy. So
Because they
I wasn't
voting.
trying to be
I
disrespectful.
got some
You know,
voting.
every time we made a point, he wanted to leave and get mad. But you know, it's like all of this talk. The more you hear it talking, the more it sounds like a bunch of people who want their way. They want to receive from the government, and they want all the benefits from the government, but they don't want to participate and be responsible within anything. They don't want to
And
vote.
what
They don't want to pay taxes. They want to, you know, they just want to talk.
I want to help him out so bad. It's just, I want to help him out so bad.
So she saying that he and SpongeBob are ruled by the same laws.
Not Sponge, but you know
And
what?
don't ever in your black life talk about maritime law in the presence of Miss Cruiser.
Of Miss Cruiser, right? I was like, no, now
It's no
Cruiser.
maritime law, SpongeBob.
You know what? Not no.
Nigga was like the root word of docket. Let's go to the Hebrew, and it's the dock that where you park your boat. It's like what?
With the gold corners, the gold corners.
Oh man.
He back, y'all.
But landlord, I do have a question for you because you are out there in California, and I've heard a plethora of people of African American descent say that they thought that Kamala, she put a lot of black people in black men in jail.
She done that. She did that.
Okay. So when she was the AD, the district attorney, or the attorney general?
When she was the attorney general, not so much. It was when she was the district attorney in San Francisco.
Okay.
And even being in that state of district attorney, there's one case where she withheld evidence to free a person. And when she became attorney general, to where she could have still, helped out to free that dude, she still didn't allow that dude to get out. And it was a weed case, So she was real. She did, but when she started off as being, DA and all the stuff that she was doing, she was going after, corporate shit. Banks and all that type of stuff.
Right.
But then once she got to her status, them same banks that she was going after was also donating to her campaign, and she let up on it.
So, okay. So let me ask you this question. When she put some of the young men away, when she put them in jail, what were these cases that were brought, because she was the prosecutor, right?
Yeah,
so there's a judge and a jury, or at least a judge, right?
True enough.
So
before you get to the judge and the jury and the prosecutor don't go out and arrest or investigate any crime brought to her.
Steal my thunder, Cruiser. I know that. Yeah, I was saying.
Hold on.
My bad. I'm supposed to be in timeout. Social scientists told me to go to timeout. Sorry.
Hold on, because the question that you're giving me right now are questions to these black men that's out here saying that's why they won't vote for her. And that's not my reason.
I understand.
I'm not saying I won't vote for her. I'm telling you right now, I'm not voting for neither one. I'm not voting for.
I do remember landlord. Okay, landlord, I remember who you are. My bad. From we
hold on, y'all. We
discussed this before.
We got somebody join the panel. Hello.
That's Bees. What's up, Bees?
No, he's speaking the truth on Kamala.
Yeah.
She has a.
Okay, so the question that I had for you, landlord, in reference to Kamala, she's a prosecutor, and so the prosecutor goes in front of the judge and jury.
Usually,
exactly.
And so, who comes up with the final verdict? Who makes the final verdict?
Hold on a second.
Because
that's not the way things really work. The way things really work is that probably 90% of all cases are decided by plea bargain. Okay, there is no jury because most people.
And your defendant and the attorney that's the defendant for the defendant, they have to. Okay, so if you're talking about a plea bargain, then they have to be the ones that get to the attorney, the the district attorney, and they have to be the ones to fight for their. They have to be the ones to fight for their particular the person that they're representing.
Let
But you
her,
have to
yeah,
understand that
but
a lot of these
generally,
cats don't have. They're
generally
not paying
speaking,
for lawyers. They're getting the court appointed lawyers.
Court appointed.
You're getting
And
a
they
public
also
defender.
work
You're
in the
getting a
same
public
So the
defender.
public defender is the problem, not the prosecutor.
The
public
whole
defender
system,
works in the same office.
the whole system's messed up because really the whole system, the judicial system, is based on our larger system of capitalism, and that those that have resources and money are going to stand to have a much better chance than those without. And unfortunately, inordinate amount of black and brown people without resources are in the system and are taking plea deals She, as a black woman, was used to prosecute black drug cases. She's personally responsible, and they're calling it. It wasn't just her job. She was knowingly used, kind of like how Chris Darden was used. Remember Chris Darden, the black prosecutor,
Black prosecutor.
that the one that they pulled out of a hat to
For
help prosecute
OJ?
the OJ case. Yes, they just pulled him out of
Right.
a hat. And was he picked because he was
He was
black?
guilty.
Absolutely, to take off the racial undertones of the case. And she allowed herself to be used. And she's part of the problem with mass incarceration in the state of California.
It wasn't the
Yes.
numbers. Those numbers that they gave were not accurate numbers at
No, they
all.
weren't.
It was
Were
nowhere
were
close.
they
Now
innocent?
I will say
What
this
numbers?
because
What
I'm
numbers
not
are you
gonna
talking about?
defend someone
What
and
numbers
not
are
tell
you
the truth
talking
about
about?
them. There was one particular case where she did go after that young man hard, and it makes you wonder why. It's like
One person out of
it
her
was
whole
one.
caseload.
It was one young man that I
Okay.
do agree, and I think, and if I'm not mistaken, I think landlord was the one who brought this one young man to my attention.
No, there was a murder case. There was a murder case of a rapper dude that was eventually acquitted, and he said he got convicted of the murder, which he did not do.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, she celebrated. She jumped around, was happy, with faulty evidence.
Well, I
But
don't know whether she
there
was.
was a young man. There was a young man who was prosecuted by her for a weed case, a quarter pound of weed, like in the '90s. And you know who it was? It was the
Who?
same. It was the same dude. He just had bad luck, I guess. And I remember hearing him talking about it. It was the same dude that Seven Stars, went after his whole family. The black and Mexican dude, Dusty. He
What?
yes, I
That's
remember
not the
him.
one I'm referring to.
Yeah, but no, you well,
But
she's a
but
she
but
was
but but so
no, but
what
the
we have
truth though.
proven here is that this woman is not perfect. So when it comes to making a choice in voting, you have to weigh both of them, because at least she didn't take out a ad to
Well, she's not a
to
felon.
convict.
Okay, but go ahead.
She didn't take out an ad to make sure that people are convicted that's innocent.
She's not
And
a
at least
felon.
she don't own a hotel and don't want black men in there. So I mean, she's not she's not a convicted felon, and
Convicted.
she wasn't bragging a convicted felon, and she wasn't bragging on her white skin. She's not trying to take us back to 1798 laws. I can go on and on and on. Is she perfect? No,
Absolutely not.
but I think I would vote for Kermit the Frog before I vote for Trump.
Well, I wouldn't vote for him.
Are y'all saying trunk or
Yeah,
you know
Trump.
what?
He's saying Trump. That's disrespectful. I know you
I'm
don't
saying
like
Trump.
the man.
TRUNK.
I know what you said, but that's
But like I
disrespectful.
said, I was saying that, man.
That's
He's
just like somebody
disrespectful.
it's just like
He's
that's like somebody calling you
disrespectful when he
nigga.
said he wanted to put Liz Cheney in front of a shooting range. He's disrespectful when he stand up there and call people whores. He's disrespectful when he called people fat. He's disrespectful. Have you not seen? He was disrespectful when he was stimulating a sexual act on that microphone today. Did you see that?
Hold on.
I'm sure you
Trump
know.
is the very definition. He's the very definition of disrespectful.
I could be very disrespectful
Hold on,
on this
y'all.
YouTube app, and that doesn't judge who the person that I really am.
There you go.
I could be very, very disrespectful.
Okay, well then I'm call him Trump. That's disrespectful. TRUNK.
And I could call
All
Kamala
right, well, we got
black person.
somebody that got some junk in her trunk. What's up, Ronnie Q? How you doing?
Hey,
Hey.
Ronnie Q, peace and love.
Hey, Ronnie Q.
I know I'm about to get it. I did.
Ronnie
By the way,
Q.
Sir King, I really missed this. Thank you for being live tonight.
Yes, thank
Hey,
you.
just so y'all know, we only got 15 minutes, okay?
Okay, cool.
Damn.
Sorry. You can take it to your platform, Cruz. I'll share you out.
Cruiser, I'm getting ready to go out. Sis. We get ready to do this thing. We have a visitor today. So
SpongeBob.
she's
Can I,
well,
can
she
I,
was here last week, but I didn't get a chance to go to church.
can I
But
get my
I'll be here.
closing? Can I get my closing thoughts before I jump down? Yeah.
Isn't
I
Ronnie
love.
Q up here?
Hey,
I thought
Can
Ronnie Q
we
was up.
Hey,
continue to talk, bro? You're gonna be okay. You'll get the attention.
I'm
Ronnie
definitely
Q's here, and I was just saying
Ronnie.
something. What you doing?
I'm definitely about to get ready to jump off. I do appreciate this shit. I love the
Yeah,
kind
good
of
talking to you,
platforms
landlord.
where a nigga could come in, you know, and be different and not have to get into all that argument shit, and you know,
Right.
and have real honest conversation. It's good to holler at you, TC again, Cruiser.
Yes,
Good to
thank
holler
you.
at
You too.
the AFPs. You already know what it is. Ronnie IQ next time. Sir King, appreciate you letting me up and shit, man. I gotta get up. I gotta ride to Monterey tomorrow.
Sure thing. You're welcome.
All
Y'all have a
right,
good
peace
night.
out, bro.
For sure.
All right. And it's good to have California people here because I didn't know about that stuff in Cali. So Beasley and Sir King and landlord, thank you for that information.
Oh, you're welcome.
I know people. I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but Kamala's part of my peer group, and that I socialized with in the late '80s, early '90s, and so much so that one of my closest friends, who was like a brother to me, was fooling around with Kamala, and he says, "You don't remember her?" And I'm like, "I really don't." And he tried to give me reference points, but he was dating Kamala while he had his future wife and his baby mama at the time pregnant. And he told me this back when she was about to become attorney general. And I told him, man, like, get in contact with her, man. Maybe she could find something to send our way and help us out. And she's a person in high place. We could use her as a reference. I'm sure there's something that that she could send our way, legitimately or some business wise. And he's like, man, she might be wanting to kill me. So, her reputation for getting around, and I don't think that should be held against her, but there is a close connection. There is a very, very, very
Well,
close
it's
connection.
6 degrees of separation every which way. We're grown
Man,
folk.
this is not even
We're grown folk. We've been to college. We lived.
right. And, and
I
and a
mean,
lot a lot of my friends went to Howard, and she went to Howard.
yeah.
When my job hired me, they ain't asked me nothing about my sexual exploitations. They ain't care.
Thank goodness, because
As
it's
long as
so.
it wasn't in there,
A
as
lot of
long,
folk
as long
won't
as
be
it wasn't in
working.
their mailroom, they ain't care.
Yeah. Yeah. So
As long as it wasn't with one of my team leaders that I lead, they ain't care. They don't care. We talk about stuff ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't care who Bill Clinton did, and he shouldn't have done it in the Oval Office. But I ain't care about that either. If Hillary was good with it, so was I.
But you want to know something? You'd be remiss if someone who's hyperactive sexually, if that isn't a reflection upon their character.
not necessarily, and
Well,
that's all. That
let me
you
just let
think.
me let me let me say this as
Mm-mm.
far as Bill Clinton's
I don't.
concerned.
I don't want to really even talk about her
But
Yeah,
sexualness.
I ain't got nothing to do with
let me
that
Nah,
just
lady.
nah.
mention
I
this as
don't.
far as
Her
Bill Clinton,
appetite,
then
That's
you can
not
let
my.
me
child.
talk. Let me just mention this as far as Bill Clinton. When Bill Clinton was caught and the evidence was closing around him as far as his situationship, his entanglement with Monica, he lied to his wife, his daughter, and every legal last one of his friends and supporters. He pulled them all aside and looked them right in the eye and lied. That does speak to his character. Well, go
It
ahead.
does speak to his character, and but if but Bill Clinton, we look at him because he's the president of the United States. But men all over America, or people all over America, look their spouses right in the eye and lie to them. I don't know him. I don't know why he calling here. I don't know how he got my phone number. I mean, it's not like it's uncommon. I
Because
ain't never heard of that before.
because we hold the president of the United States to a higher standard, as we should.
Well,
I hold him to a higher standard as far as running this country. What he do with his ping, I don't care nothing about.
well, let's hear the standard of I hate you, and of course you. Who are you?
Good morning, y'all. This is
Me?
social scientist.
Good morning.
I have one question and to make one statement. They just, well, y'all didn't know. They just found an individual, strange fruits. I'll just use that, those that know the origins of that song. Strange fruits down from the school where I live at. And it had the beloved Trump's fingerprints, or people that support him fingerprints all over it. Second question, the stuff that went on in the first insurrection, people are predicting it to happen again. My question is, are they preparing for it? Or are they sitting here being mad at the stuff that the man is saying?
I'm sure that they, to let it happen again, it would just be just irresponsible. I'm sure that I would think they are preparing for to happen again.
I think they're preparing for it because Lovely Love was saying she lived by a military base, and she was saying earlier today that she heard some new kind of planes flying around.
I'm talking about all over. That was just in one particular, I'm not going to say just one particular area, but it's getting ugly and nasty all over. And I'm just sitting back looking at, okay, when is everybody going to stop being offended? And I know it's bad to say an eye for an eye, whatever. Everybody's offended by what they say. Go talk about slavery. You want to shut a white person up? Go talk about slavery and see how offended and closed mouth they get.
But the
even
thing is,
predict.
are y'all actually having arguments with your neighbors about these things? Because I'm not. I mean, the most.
I ask my kids every day. I get them. I ask them because this is a reality that they're gonna have to face. What would you do if a Caucasian person come up to you and say, "Hey, you in boy," or "Hey, you in B"? I'm trying not to cuss. What would you do?
Social
Because
sciences.
as black,
Let me bring something. Let me say something to you that I had to tell to my youngest daughter because she had the same concerns. That whole thing, January 6th, that was isolated to that building. And the reason why it was isolated or it was just that building is because they wasn't coming after us. Really, not really. They were going in there to stop the transfer of power. Okay? Ain't no power being transferred over at my house.
Hold on.
But let me finish my
was
thought.
then.
Let me
This
finish
is
my thought.
okay,
Let
go
me
ahead.
finish my thought. So what Trump's interest was to not lose his place as president. So they were going in there after Mike Pence, after Nancy Pelosi. And I'm not saying we every day, it's not just during election time that we should watch ourselves. It's all the time. We've been watching ourselves, just like we was talking much earlier today, about if Kamala don't make it in. I said in the chat, I typed in the chat, I said, if she don't make it in, why flip out? That ain't going to help anything. Why have a fit? It's not going to help anything. And as Black folks, we have always had to learn to endure hardness as a good soldier. I mean, listen, back in slavery, that's how chitlins came about. Chitlins and hog mogs, that was thrown away. They didn't want that part of the meat, so we had to learn how to cook and eat that to survive. And then we had to teach it to the poor white folks how to cook and eat that. So my point is that we have a history of knowing how to survive and and we know to protect ourselves. But a lot of time when these things happen, you bringing up January 6th, that wasn't about our Black A. That was about where the
Not at
power
all.
lays.
That's right.
Okay,
That was
can I
them
finish
on
what
them.
can I finish what I'm saying before we go into the history lesson? What I'm saying is stemming from then and how aggressive that all of this derogatory acts. I'm just waiting on somebody to come out their mouth and say nigger in a minute. I'm waiting on Trump to get up there and say nigger. As the greatness he has got not only towards African American, you got Latinos, you got Mexicans, you got LGBT. He just being degraded towards everybody.
But you're preaching to
That's what
us,
I'm talking
though.
about.
They're
No,
the
I'm
ones being
asking.
valid, but you're preaching to us. But go ahead.
I just asked a question. I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm just asking y'all, do y'all think that they society in whole is getting prepared for what could happen? Who to say it might not happen? But look how aggressive and nastier by the day comes. Nastier. He called the woman a cracker. Like I said, I'm waiting on
If
somebody to
if
come out
if
and say,
what
hey,
happens, if what happens though,
yeah.
if the,
If say it just hypothetically, because none of us know what could happen. Hypothetically, the woman wins. We already know he leading with they still in the vote and all the rest of that. You have individuals. I just saw a video of a man. You already know you can't wear paraphernalia to go in there and vote. You done came in here and pretty much attacked the black women, done pushed the black woman with your finger. I'm like, okay, y'all just getting ignorant with it now. I mean,
They
you
being
could
ignorant though.
hide your
I
racism.
don't know when they stop being ignorant though.
right, I
Very,
don't know either.
very ignorant.
I mean,
These
that's
people.
what gets me with all of these people being concerned and the fear. I don't know. Listen,
When did
I
that
don't know
It's
where
not
start?
I
about
don't know where
fear.
y'all work at.
Well,
I don't know
well,
where y'all work at. But 2 years ago, I had a white dude to quit his job. This white dude got a family. He have a wife and a child on the way. And this joker quit his job because he didn't want to listen to Cruiser. Because Cruiser's black. You know what I'm saying? So why are we acting like this is just happening because there is an election going on?
Right.
I
This
don't
is
know whether this
Do
just
you
happened
okay?
around the
Okay,
town of
because
Jamestown,
you
North Carolina, but I deal with this every day. Election season, non-election season, because it's Thursday. You know
because
there
what I'm
you
saying?
go.
This is all the
but
because
time.
that's
you deal
because
with it every
that's
day.
because
You have
that's because you
individuals that
ladies
don't
like
pay
to
attention to none of this stuff.
Well,
because
if
you
they
You have
don't
ladies
pay
like to.
individuals that
attention, then God bless America and let freedom ring. Because guess what's
Because
going to happen? Did nobody say that all that racism and hatred and all this other stuff was gone? Nobody said that. As a matter of fact, we've been saying keep watching, keep yourselves abreast, keep yourselves protected, keep yourselves armored, and all that other kind of stuff. Because it hasn't gone anywhere. It just has been it's been subliminal, or it's been in submission. It's been in a whole bunch of places, but it's still there. Nobody said it was gone.
The
So
safest I ever felt in my life was January 6th, because
I know that's
they were
right.
down there at that building. They wasn't at my house. They was over there at that building. I mean
Mhm.
that's ugly for me to say it, but because I didn't like what was going on over there. But that was the safest day I ever felt in my life. They ain't coming after my black egg.
That was them
but
on them.
again,
That was them on
that
them. That was them on them.
uh, that was them.
Remember.
That was them on the rule of law. That was
And
them
who's the
on the
rule of law? Right.
that was
Them on
them on
them.
the
That's what I'm saying. Them
that
on
was
them.
them
Don't
that
worry,
was
it
them
had nothing to do with y'all. So don't even
that
worry
it
about
had
that. Not
absolutely
at all.
everything to do. It had absolutely everything to do with black people in America. Black people in America are still afforded, no matter how flawed it may be, are still afforded protections by the Constitution.
Before, during, and after.
Yes.
It doesn't
It may it may it may
we're
it may it
still
may, it may
where we are. We're still where we are. Before, during, and after.
right.
Yeah.
And
So I mean,
If
that's why
anything, if
I understood
anything,
what you were saying. Rather, you was like, if Kamala don't make it in,
I don't support. I don't
I'm still
support. I don't.
black.
I
I'm
don't
still
support.
black. You know what I'm saying?
I don't support Trump at all. I think he's dangerous. I think he's a buffoon. I think he's full of shit and he's a liar. However, Kamala has put more black men back into the state of slavery and working for pennies than Donald Trump has, and that's the truth. She's dangerous as well. And when you see all of these pictures of crime, and it is bad. You do have stores closing up all over the country because they can't compete with Amazon, and they can't compete with online. And there's also a problem of retail theft. They're showing it everywhere. It's an epidemic thing, and there will be mass
more.
prosecutions. They are now in California organizing and arresting groups for organizing all the thefts that they have at all the drugstores. That's closing all the drugstores in San Francisco to close down. They've closed down 7 Walgreens in San Francisco.
Mm.
It's things
Mm-hmm.
that go look in your major cities and look at the way things are boarded up.
Yes.
I don't know what's coming to replace it, but this country's at a really big change, as far as the way things are done. And someone like her, someone like her can be used as a tool who's prosecutorial oriented anyway. Neither one of them have any benefit for black people. So that's the truth. He at least he hasn't done much, but he
Are you
actually has done
kidding?
he actually has done more to
No,
address
you're right.
mass
He has no. You're
incarceration.
right. He hasn't done much. You no. You're right. That's right.
He
You're right.
hasn't done much, but he's done more
Nope,
than
he
Obama
hasn't.
to
He
address
hasn't done
the
much at
situation of
all.
mass incarceration. He's addressed mass incarceration, and even bills were produced and made into law that were easing the laws for the disparity between crack cocaine and powder cocaine. And that's one of the main laws that have young black people stretched is the 50 to 500 rule. Now they've eased it. And they've
Mhm.
also eased it the way to a lot of people that were sentenced to life for drug crimes. They're eligible for release after 25 years. But 25 years is still a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
And
So
and and,
that doesn't have anything to do with her.
and if you look at the 13th Amendment and the
Hmm.
14th Amendment, it says that there will be no slavery unless someone is committed or unless someone is convicted of a crime, and they are in essence working as slaves at 22 cents an hour.
Right. So why hasn't Donald Trump shown his records yet? He still hasn't shown his tax
I'm not
information.
defending
None of
anything
that.
about. I'm not defending
So
anything about that man. It's just that thinking that she's the answer to him, you're
well, yeah,
ignoring who she
she's the
is.
answer not
We're
to
not
him.
looking to her
She's the
to
answer
Well,
as
a
for
the
lot of people
no.
answer.
are. A
She's
lot
the
of people
answer.
are.
For, no. She's not the answer to him. First of all, she can never be the answer to him. He's a convicted felon, so he's a negative. He's a nothing. He is not even. He's non-relevant as far as I'm concerned. Negative. Period. He didn't do anything much. You're absolutely right. He didn't do anything at all. He did nothing but do a whole bunch of flapping of his gums. Okay?
It's
And
like the
don't
choice
compare
between
her to
eating.
him.
It's like the choice between eating rat poison or molded bread. It's like the molded bread gonna make me sick, but that rat poison gonna kill me. I know that was a bad example, but I'm just saying, it's not about alternative. It's that's the other person. We don't have no other person, and Trump is definitely not it. I mean, like I said, it could be Kermit the Frog, Mickey Mouse, Miss Piggy. I would vote for one of them first before I vote for Trump.
I'm voting for Devon Cannon. I'm voting for ZX. ZX running around here like he's running for office, pandering to women, talking about he cares about abortion now.
See, here
He's
you
Okay.
go.
he,
ZX and Trunk is probably along the
See,
same
he's
lines
so
for me. I
that's
don't know. With them, I would have to put them in the bag and shake them and see which one
he,
fall out first. I don't
he
know
he
which one I would choose between them two.
he is so full of shit because I remember him doing shows about how black women were horrible because they were aborting black babies.
Well, Ronnie Q, I dropped the link for you, so I don't know if you see it. Oh, okay, maybe it's a second.
Ronnie Q, you might have to open up your house if Sir King could shut us down. And he shut
Yeah,
down this liquor house.
I gotta go in 10 minutes though, y'all. So y'all know.
yeah,
I'm
he got okay.
thank
Okay.
you, Sir King, and hey, Cruiser, uh,
Hey, sugar.
HBCU,
Hey, what's up?
Queen. You
Hey,
know my
Queen.
feelings are hurt. My
Hey,
my
Diva.
baby didn't go with her school. They playing Jackson today. I'm upset today, but
Okay.
I just want my feelings are hurt about that. The question I was posing, and like I said, Trump, Kamala, all the rest of that stuff. Yeah. I'm looking at everybody else. I'm looking at all how Trump strategically put people in place to do what they were doing. That's the stuff I'm looking at, not to negate anything else. That was my question for coming up here. Is anybody looking at the after effect? Trump is one man, but he got a whole lot of ignorant fools behind him that pretty much don't give a damn. And is
And our
anybody
answer
looking at
was we
that?
don't think that Trump necessarily coming after us. He going after the power.
Oh, but of course, but power, yeah, but it's affecting all of us, the stuff that's going on.
It is affecting us, but what I'm saying is the power is over with politics and governor. So I think your question was, are we concerned about a fight in the street? You know what I'm saying? And I do understand that there's always some ignorant people who's going to, like the person who tried to burn did burn the ballots. And what you were talking about, that happened over in your area, which, girl, where you live, stuff always happen in there, child. But my point is that when Trump is not worrying about me and you, is what I'm saying. So if that's your question, then is that my concern? That's my concern every day on an ongoing basis, just being a Black woman.
I don't think he represents for anybody besides himself. This dude's a complete narcissist.
Can I get in here in this conversation, please?
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
more
go ahead,
concerned
Ronnie.
about. I think he's more concerned about self-preservation at this point. And what makes him dangerous is that he was able to appoint all those Supreme Court justices that look to his favor, and that ruled that he may be able to have immunity for some of his criminal acts while in office. And if he wins the election, the things that he's going to be able to do to absolve himself of criminal responsibility for the crimes that he committed. That makes
It's
him
no
above the law.
absolving himself. He will not be able to be tried on any remaining court,
Which is absolving himself.
any remaining cases.
Which is absolving himself.
The Supreme
I know
Court
I use my words.
The Supreme Court has ruled that anything that he deems to be presidential power, even the Department of Justice, the Congress, nobody can question him. That's what the Supreme Court ruled.
Which absolves him of criminal behavior.
If he wants to eliminate the Constitution, no one can question him. It's far beyond absolving him of his crimes. Anything that he says that he's doing under his presidential power, the Supreme Court says he can do it, and no one can question his authority. That was what they ruled.
Which absolves him of crimes.
It's not about the crimes. What about your constitutional rights?
It's all about the crimes.
What about? No, I'm not talking. I'm beyond the crimes. I'm not talking about the crime. You want to stay on the crime? I want to stay on. I want to talk about.
That's obvious. When you alter the
okay, I want to talk about my constitutional right. I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about how it's going to affect regular American people. So people don't think that he's going after us. So nobody is said anything about this Project 2025, where he says people are not going to be allowed to protest, and if they do, he's going to put the military on American cities if they do any protesting. So he's not coming after us?
Hold on. Well, the Patriot Act, the Patriot Act has been in effect for over 20-something years, and that definitely affects your constitutional rights. Right now, we've been told that we're being spied on by the NSA. We're told that our emails are
what that got to do with what I just said? That has absolutely nothing to do with what I said.
Because you're not listening. Because you
that
want to
has
argue.
Nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm not okay. It's been enforced in 20 years. Has the military been allowed to come after you?
Has the military? Let me answer the question.
Has the military been able to come after you because of the Patriot Act?
They're compiling data where they can.
Has the military been allowed?
And they're doing it illegally without a warrant.
The president said that they were going to bring the military after you because of what they found in the Patriot Act by spying on you for 20 years. Donald Trump has said he is going to bring the military after people who protest.
Talking about
what about
we're talking about when someone's half-baked and saying someone is half-baked and talking
what he's
as
saying
compared
that
to
he's
actual
going
laws
to send the
that are in
military
place
after
that continue
the
to get
press.
renewed that you don't speak about. So just now you're concerned about the Constitution.
Did they say they're going to send the military after me? Did answer my question? Did they say that they were going to allow the military? Did they say who did they send the military after? After all this spying, who did the military go after? Absolutely nobody. You have no argument. You're talking about something that's 20 years old that didn't bring
20
the
years old,
military
then why
out
do
to
they
you.
keep putting
He's
it in
talking,
effect? You know the effects of the Patriot Act? You sound like a fool.
and
It
what
affects the
effect
same
has it had on
Constitution.
you and how
It
you
affects
live
the
your
same
life? You
Constitution. You
still
don't
come on
know.
here and
They're
talk
compiling,
grimy shit
and
about
they
people
and they
on
still can
the
be
World
compiling
Wide
data,
Web. You're unaffected.
and they're still compiling data, and
And how has that
they're still
affected
violating the
you?
Constitution.
How has that
They're
affected
still
you?
impeding your. They're
How
still impeding your rights.
has that
Because
affected you?
I'm telling you how. I'm telling you
No,
how.
you're
You
not
refuse
telling
to
me how
listen.
it affected you. How it affected you?
It affects all of us because it
How
removes
did
our
it affect you?
constitutional protections. It removes
How did
it
it
protects all
affect
of
you?
us because it
But how were
removes
you
our
affected?
constitutional
But how were
protections.
you affected?
We don't even know yet. Oh,
Okay,
how am I affected? How am I
can
affected?
I continue to
No,
say what
no,
I
you're
want to
over
say?
talking me. No, I have a
Can
voice
I
and yours
continue?
Okay,
too.
No,
No,
you
no,
so
no. Your
Beasley,
overtalked
voice
me.
ain't no louder
You
than mine,
overtalked
lady.
me. You
Sit your
interrupt
ass
what
Beasley,
I was
down.
we gotta be
saying.
Sit
civil,
your
y'all.
loud
We
ass
gotta be,
Interrupt,
down.
but he
we gotta be
Sit
interrupted
your
what
civil.
loud
I was
ass
saying.
down.
Oh Lord, here we go.
See,
No,
Go ahead,
you over
can
talking
I
ass,
finish saying what I
Go
wanted
ugly
to
ahead,
ass
Ronnie
say
broad
Q.
with no
Go
goddamn
ahead,
without being
sense.
interrupted?
Beasley. Go ahead, Ronnie Q.
Okay, I don't have time for his issues. Okay, see, these are things that are not talked about. They subpoenaed the
Oh
chair of
God.
the Heritage Foundation, the writers of that Project 2025. He refused to go to the Senate. They asked the people who wrote they say there's a fourth rail in this Project 2025, and it includes the first 180 days of a conservative presidency. They're trying to say that this 2025 is not for Trump, but Donald Trump's name is in this document over 333 times. It is written by 80% of his former staff. So they refuse to even address Congress, what they have in store. They said, well, we're just going to put in a conservative government, and it's pretty much what you think it is. And the lady, I think Ayanna Presley was saying, well, it's not what I think it is. I want to know specifics. They refuse to give any specifics. The Heritage Foundation president, they didn't subpoena him. They just asked him to come. He had a book launch scheduled. He pushed back his book launch. He did not show up to the Senate hearing, and they have been unable to find him, to question him. What does Project 25 has in store for the first 180 days of this conservative presidency? But all they did say is, well, we're just getting things in order because in the first hour we're going to enact this plan, but they refuse to say what this plan is. So I think they do have something for me. I really do. And I'd be remiss in saying why we sitting up here acting like we don't have to get, because they're not coming for us. These militias have been getting ready for years. See, that's what's been getting ready. That's what's been going on for years. They've been training and getting ready. Do you understand that during the 19, you could only buy a certain number of box and types of things that go in your pow pow? You were restricted on how many you could buy a day and what type you can buy a day. So you don't think that the people who have stockpiled are ready? While we don't think that they're coming, we need to be ready. That's all I got to say. I've done a slew of information. You're free to go look at it. Thank you, Sir King.
You're welcome, Ronnie Q. And guys, only got like 2 minutes, so I guess we'll wrap up here. Beasley, you want to respond?
I hope they come get her ass first. I'm gonna
Beasley.
po- I'm gonna point
Mr.
them. I'm gonna point
Beasley.
them her
No,
Mr.
way.
Beasley.
don't say that, Beasley.
That's an annoying ass woman. I hope they come get
Um,
her ass first.
I don't know why I like Mr. Beasley. Why you sometimes I just think you be messing with folks. All right, thank you, Sir King. I appreciate you
I
making the
do.
beef sector great
I
again.
stood down and let her
you're
talk.
welcome.
I stood down and let her talk because I'm looking at because I have every right to talk just like she does. She's a damn Nazi. Like what she had to say is that much more important. Oh, broad just has to be right. Why don't she turn her camera on? I want to know what she's hiding.
'Cause she's a beautiful woman. She
Yeah,
has
right.
beautiful
So is fake Yaya.
Uh,
Man, they got some real life.
Don't
They
do
got some
that.
real.
Don't say that. That's
I
not
would.
no Beasley. I'm out. I'm out. I love myself some Face Yaya. That's
All
my
right.
girl.
All right,
And
now.
yes, I do. I think she's a very, very, very good person. So yes,
I don't know.
absolutely. Sir
Just
King,
ask me.
Mhm.
Why did she
Sir
hide
King,
out?
Yes,
it's
Got
been
these
please.
real.
Godzilla
It's been
looking ass
fun. I'll
women.
be back with you on the beaches of the
But
world.
you have
They
to
got
DM
faces.
me.
They got
I'm
faces made for
Avatar
radio.
__ nation. I just want to get clarity on what you were talking about. What you were saying was going to happen. 'Cause I'm
Okay, listen, I'll get it to you. All right, I got you.
okay. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace. Hello. I hate you. You too, and me
Oh
too.
shoot, I'm
I'll
sorry,
catch
Sir
you later.
King.
Thanks for having me up, Sir King.
Sure thing, Beasley. You take care now.
You try
Make up with.
you try to keep it fair. I appreciate that.
I do my best.
Yeah, I know it's not easy.
No, it ain't.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All
Good
right.
morning,
You're
by the
welcome.
way.
Good morning to you too.
Yeah.
Take
No,
care.
it's top of the morning, man. It's Saturday morning, man. It's the second. I'm happy.
That's great.
That's
I'm
one
happy.
advantage I got on a lot of these battle acts is that I'm actually happy. I've been depressed.
I can tell.
I'm not depressed no more. I'm happy. I feel good. I'm about to have some strong iced coffee. I'm gonna watch some football, and I'm gonna go do the sideshow in my car. No, I'm not. That's some ignorant ass shit. But that's another story.
Yeah.
That's some ignorant ass shit. They're talking about this part of the damn culture, the Cali
Well,
culture. It ain't part. Man, I'm not trying to fuck my car up to spin around in circles, man. I'm out here trying to drive defensively. I'm gonna keep my cars looking nice.
make sure you comply with maritime law. Okay.
Oh, well, definitely we compare maritime law.
We'll comply.
Yeah.
She comply. So you and
So,
Spud.
Sir
so
King.
Hmm.
I don't have enough.
Sir
I haven't gone to court with it yet, but I've jammed up some damn bill collectors.
I hear you. I feel you.
okay, Sir King, I
All right.
know you're finna get ready to go, but Ronnie Q, I guess that's what I was trying to allude to what she said. She just came on out and said, that was my question. Is anybody sitting back watching the stuff that's going on? Everybody's focused. I'm not gonna say everybody, but people are focused on what Trump is saying. What Trump is saying. And it's like, okay, Trump is one person, but he
Hmm.
got millions of mindless drones around here that are willing to do any damn thing. Is people preparing? Because like Ronnie Q said, I believe they didn't get it right the first time. Yeah, people seem to think that's an isolated event. No, that was an isolated event, but it affected all of us because they was trying to take all of our votes. Them people are sitting and planning and plotting, or maybe it's me and I watch too much news all over the world. But I'm like, is anybody watching? Because anybody can roll up in your yard and say boom, boom, boom. And like she said, they blocking certain artillery that you can buy. There's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. Is anybody paying attention? Or is everybody, not everybody, but are people sitting here keeping up with the Diddy stuff? Or keeping up with this stuff? And it's like, okay, fuck Diddy, where he gonna be at? Is y'all watching what this fool doing over here? Or better yet, what he got his cronies doing? That was just my question though. Maybe it didn't come out that way, but hey. It is what it is. Thank you, Sir King. I know you finna get ready and go. And you
Yeah.
have a blessed day. And stop being mean to people, Sir King.
How I be a man of
Thank
people?
you. Yeah,
I'm not mean to
stop being
people.
mean.
I'm not a doormat, but I ain't mean to people.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, Jay Wilson, because that's funny, but stop being mean.
Stop being mean to Jay Wilson. You saying?
No, I said keep doing what you're doing, Jay Wilson. That's
Oh
funny,
yeah.
but stop
Mhm.
being mean. Yeah,
Talking
that's
about
funny.
he gonna see
You
Venom
have a
teeth.
blessed one.
Mhm. He look like Venom. Anyway, no problem. You take care. All right, y'all. Hopefully, y'all been thoroughly entertained and educated. Yes, that was very interesting. Very interesting viewpoints. I do feel that we have our attention is being diverted. So I can't say what I want to say because I think Mama YouTube got rules and stuff. But yeah, y'all heard enough from the panelists. Just make sure you are prepared. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have money. When I'm gonna just sum it up this way: when the current president, who's been elected by the American people, Joe Biden, comes on national television and says, "I don't think we're going to have a peaceful transfer of power." That's red signs right there. That's all the flags you need to know. Because first of all, the main job of the president of the United States is to maintain peace and stability in the nation. So why the hell are you coming live talking about, or however you did it, however you said it in the press conference or whatever, say that. So if he's giving a warning, because he's got all access to intel and gets a report daily. Y'all, please wise up. Please, like she said, don't be like consumed by Diddy or Megan Thee Stallion or whatever else hell going on. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you get your water. Make sure you get some money out. Make sure if you don't have a pow, you got a machete. Make sure you have a plan B. Make sure you have access. Make sure you have gas. Make sure you have canned goods. Make sure you see what the hell going on. Because like I was listening to Lovely Love, and when she was talking about where she lives, she heard some new planes. I'm like, oh shit, you know? And they were talking about where they live in Texas. That's where they try out the stuff at. So don't get caught off guard and be a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Okay? Make sure you have some auxiliary batteries and stuff. Because, who knows? They might, I ain't gonna put that out. They may, attack, how can I say it? Our comfortable way of living. So it's crazy out here. And I know y'all kept referencing Cheeto Head, but you got to think about the power behind Cheeto Head, because the power behind Cheeto Head selected him for a reason. Maybe they knew due to his character test that he would be the one to pull these shenanigans, where somebody else who may have some professionalism, character, or any other tangible or intangible qualities would not gone for the buffoonery and the coonery that's being he put up to. Did y'all ever think that maybe that man is so much in debt that he owe people? That's why he got to do what he got to do. So yeah, y'all, just at the end of the day, God is at the end of the day, and although he up in heaven, I feel that he allows a lot of things not to happen. So keep your faith in God and not in man. Okay. With that being said, I do have to say, if y'all want to, feel free to send a gesture to $ Sir King Crown. I appreciate those who sent gestures prior. I'm trying to get Madden 2025. That's how I decompress. It is on sale for $40. So if you want to help me achieve my goal, please feel free to do so. But in all honesty, y'all, stay strong in prayer, because God will give you the wisdom to persevere through times like this. Now, if you devoid of a Christian spirit, a Holy Spirit, then that wisdom may not be blessed upon you. Okay? All right? Because sometimes we be looking at man and we forget there's a higher power. With that one being said, I'm out of here. Thank you to everybody that came up to the panel. TC, we had Ronnie Q, we had Beasley, we had I Hate You, You Hate Me, we all hate each other. Who else? I know I'm forgetting somebody else. We had Noble, we had Landlord, and then we had I think another gentleman. I do apologize for forgetting your name. Okay. But thank you for your contributions. With that being said, I'm out of here. Thank you to all my wonderful moderators and tough ones. I appreciate y'all and casual fans alike. Please, y'all, before y'all exit, if you want to, feel free to thumbs up the live and all that. All right. But stay abreast to what's going on. And prepare, prepare. All right, bye, y'all. Have a good one. Take care. Once again, if y'all want to, $ Sir King Crown. Have a good one. Bye, y'all. And make sure y'all vote. I can't tell you which way to vote either way, but people died, and if you black, we know people have died for you to have that right to vote. You got to remember your ancestors were ostracized, were like just had to suffer inhumane treatment, had dogs seized on them, sprayed with water hose, told them that they were not human, therefore they did not deserve the right to vote. So do your right, honor your heritage and your ancestors by enacting a privilege that they wish they had and died for you to have. All right, with that being said, I'm out of here. Bye.
Tofu Alley. No beef, just tofu.